receivers, and he's got a couple really talented receivers out there that make things happen, make phenomenal catches against Classical going up the sideline, behind him one-handed, some circus catches. They're really making things happen for Coach Serino.
Gloucester High football coach Tony Zarilli. John Squires will be by in just a few moments. He'll have some insight and analysis and thoughts on some of the important weekend matchups as well here with us. Plus, against Newburyport at home, they are on the road Friday night. Ipswich coach Kevin Fassett.
Triton's a very good team, and knowing Coach Sheehan, his guys will be prepared, and he's very well coached. Tough team. They execute well, and there's a reason why they're 2-0. I think the coach does a great job preparing them week to week, and any team that plays Triton will have their hands full, but we definitely do, and it'll be a fun, exciting challenge for us. So we look forward to that game on Friday.
Ipswich Tiger coach Kevin Fassett on Triton on Friday night. Manchester Essex will be playing at Essex Tech on Friday. Listen to this exchange with Coach Hutton and the crew on Monday night's North Shore Sports Night.
Jeff, coming up this weekend, you get Essex Tech, and Essex Tech had a really solid win this past week. Their ground game was exceptional. What are you going to do to blunt that attack? Maybe steal the bus?
No, I'd love to put 15 guys on the field if I could. Right? I mean, that's how you stop to run the ball all the time. If we can stick an extra guy in there, that'd be great. No, they're a great team, hard-nosed football team. They've had great success in the last couple of years where they were in the North semifinals last year for Division IV. They had a big win in the Tech Bowl last year. And, it's even though they lost the first week, but it looked like they didn't miss a beat, and they fixed everything that wasn't working on that first week, and to come out, 38 or 36-6 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. They're very well coached, tough kids, and they got a history of success. And then kids that play with expecting to win, you always have a chance.
Manchester Essex coach Jeff Hutton on North Shore Sports Night on Monday night. Other games Friday: Linfield at Amesbury, Somerville at North Reading, Wakefield playing at Watertown, Melrose at Burlington, Malden Catholic at Malden, Austin Prep playing at Arlington Catholic. Saturday afternoon on the North Shore, our broadcast game at 1 o'clock, Peabody playing at Beverly. This is Peabody coach Mark Betancourt.
I would say you're right. Beverly's offense is kind of breaking out a little bit. I've read the papers and heard what their coaches have been saying about their quarterback, and I think our quarterback's the same thing. He didn't have great games the first 2 weeks, but he's shown that he's capable of that, as the kid from Beverly as well, Morency. So I think those two guys are going to go head-to-head here and see which one can power their offense.
The Tanners are 1-1, losing to Triton in their opening game, but beating Malden a week ago on the road.
Well, I think every year it's the same. But basically, for every team who graduates, a lot of guys up front. Our offensive and defensive line have gotten better, and they continue to improve. Offensive line, a lot of that is personality and getting to know each other and working as a group. We've had a lot of kids in and out, and this year we're trying to find those 5 guys. A great offensive lineman for the Patriots told us that it's not 5 guys, it's one fist, and trying to get that from 5 fingers to one fist to work together as a unit to communicate, pick up blitzes, and have everybody on the same page is crucial. And I think every high school team deals with that early in the season. I've been happy with the way they've kind of bonded together now. This week we've had a good week of practice so far. We get 2 hard days left to go here before we get going, and the quicker they can communicate and get on the same page, the more our offensive line improves. I think the more we're going to improve.
Peabody Tanner coach Mark Betancourt. Beverly High School first-year coach Andrew Morency riding high at 2-0. Another home game this weekend against the Tanners. Coach Andrew Morency.
Well, Peabody is very physical. They're a big team. Coach Betancourt does a great job. I know they're going to be well coached. I know that they're going to know what they're doing. What they try to do is something that they've been teaching. I know that, Peabody, again, has a ton of prestige, a ton of tradition. They've been good the last few years. Coach has really turned it around there. I respect that program a lot. Geez, you know what? We're taking it 1 week at a time, and right now it's all about Peabody, and we know that they're going to be formidable, and we are going to have our hands full. There's no doubt.
Beverly football coach Andrew Morency. Elsewhere on Saturday, St. John's Prep travels to Everett for its homecoming game at Everett on Saturday afternoon. Georgetown at Lynn Tech. St. Mary's to play host to Taconic, 6 o'clock at Manning Field Saturday. Pingree playing at Middlesex. In college football, Endicott is home for a noon kick on Saturday. It's their league opener. So in a way, even though they are 0-3, they start 0-0 against Nichols. Kickoff at noon. It's Endicott's homecoming as well on Saturday. This is Endicott coach Kevin DeWall.
Yeah, no doubt. We knew going in that those first 3 games were going to be good tests for us. Those 3 teams are now combined 8-1, and like as we talked about, likely having good chances to compete for their conference titles. So those were 3 playoff type teams that we were going to prepare for. And that's kind of how we looked at it as, we would love to, the competitor and myself and our staff and our team would love to be sitting at 3-0 or 2-1 and trying to win every game we take the field with. We didn't have that, unfortunately, that outcome for those 3 games. That being said, I think there was a lot of things to learn from and progress from those 3 contests. And as we head into league play, I think we're a better team despite our 0-3 record than we were obviously when we started the year. So that's our mindset. We knew regardless if we were 3-0 in our conference, or if we were 3-0 in our non-league schedule or whether we were 0-3, it's going to come down to how well we do in our conference game. So starting out 0-0, we play a very good Nichols team. It's 2-1 right now. There's a lot of momentum and upstart for their program. They're playing a lot of young kids over the last year or two, and their coaching staff's doing a good job integrating their new kids. Transfer quarterback on offense that's doing very good things for them, very productive. They're starting a freshman tailback that's right now leading the conference in rushing with productive receivers, a couple young offensive linemen. So they're much more productive on offense, which was one of the things last year our defense was able to do a good job shutting down their offense. Well, now they're putting up some points and controlling the ball a little bit more. So that'll be a good test for our defense. And then on the offensive side of the ball, for us, going against their defense, they have 2 inside linebackers that are their captains and leaders. Very good inside linebackers. They're going to be their leading tacklers all over the field. A couple good guys at the point of attack. They run an odd front 3-4 defense with some very athletic DBs. So they're going to do a lot to try to stimmy up playing some nickel and dime packages against our passing game. And really what it comes down to, and as we do every week, we got to focus on taking care of our business on all 3 phases. And that's our focus this week, is to really put the onus back on clean up some of the mistakes that we've kind of made out in the field, and maybe left some plays out there that have given those other 3 teams that we've played some opportunities to capitalize from. And if we can do that moving forward, I think we're going to put ourselves in good shapes to get some victories here moving forward.
Endicott college football coach Kevin DeWall. They are 0-3, but again hosting Nichols in their league opener Saturday at noon in Beverly. Just ahead, Steve Krause, sports editor of the Daily Item of Lynn. Also joining us, John Squires from MSO, and our Harrington Trophy North Shore Football Player of the Week, Swampscott senior Sean Larizzi.
This is MSONEWSports.com. I'm Bill Newell, along with the Lynn Item sports editor Steve Krause. And Steve, great to be checking in with you again this week.
How you doing, Bill?
Great. Well, Steve, looking back at last weekend's, I think probably the stunning game was, I suppose, not so much that Swampscott won, but the fact the way they won against Lynn Classical on Saturday, is they just completely were a different team from the previous week, to be honest with you, offensively and especially offensively.
Well, I just think that in both the cases of the Swampscott and, to a lesser extent, Lynn English, that was about as tough a game to watch 2 weeks ago when they played each other as any game I've ever been to in my life. And it's been a long life. And I've never seen a game that was as stoppy and starty and as herky-jerky, and, nobody could get any rhythm going. 19 penalties between the 2 teams. I would have to think that both coaches after that game went back to their kids and said, look, there is no way I'm going to allow you to play like that ever again. So I'm sure that Chris Carroll ran his English team ragged, and I'll be pretty sure Bobby Serino did too in Swampscott. And it paid off for Swampscott because they came out an entirely different team. That combination there, Frary and Larizzi, I mean, that's obviously going to be one of the combinations to watch this year on the North Shore. And boy, if Swampscott plays like that for the rest of the season, they could be heard from.
Yeah. Well, they made it almost look effortlessly offensively, and they were beating defenders. The balls were right on the money, and it they're creating space for themselves. So it was just really a tremendous offensive performance for them.
Yeah, anybody that puts on a Swampscott uniform obviously has an awful lot to live up to with that legacy. And I'm sure that Coach Serena reminded those kids at practice last Monday that, this is Swampscott football. And Swampscott football teams don't play like that. So props to them for recovering and having a great game. As for Classical, if there is a shock over that, it's the fact that it was such a one-sided game, obviously, and particularly since Classical was step by step with Gloucester the week before. But, a loss like that can really take an awful lot out of you emotionally. And, sometimes getting pasted, you can at least go back on Monday and say, oh, well, nothing was going right. But you lose the way Classical lost to Gloucester, that might linger for a little longer.
Yeah. Like to pick your brain here on the prep here as well. They're playing at Everett this week. I guess it's homecoming, I understand, down in Everett this weekend. But what's your take on prep this year?
I think it's going to be it's not going to be a banner season for them. First of all, even if they do play decent, I think Xaverian, which lost last week, that might be a wake-up call for them. I still expect to see them representing the South in the Super Bowl come December. And they are a good team. They might have had a bad week. They might have been a little complacent and they might have also been a little too stoked up after beating Everett the week before. I remember last year, St. John's beat Everett. I mean, really beat them in 1 week. And then the week after that, they were life and death with Malden Catholic. So, sometimes, they are kids. And but as far as the prep goes, I don't know. I think for them, 500 for them is a bad season, where for somebody else it might be a good season. But we may be looking at a 7-4 or a 6-5. It's a tough league. They play tough teams. Nothing's a given. I mean, all you have to do is watch the Patriots go into Arizona 2 weeks and win to realize that, something, but I'm looking at a middling season for St. John's.
Yeah. Well, you were there, I think, for the St. Mary's win over Lynn English, right, last week. And so they're playing what I understand is a pretty good team, Taconic, this Saturday night at Manning Field. But this probably is of the four high schools in Lynn, St. Mary's right now, it looks like they're going to have the best season of any of them.
It would appear that way. Matt Durgan says Taconic is one of the best teams in Western Massachusetts, and they're in the same division as St. Mary's. So that'll be a really good test for them. Certainly a better test than Dorchester was in week 1. And English gave St. Mary's all it could handle in the first half. Just, at St. Mary's, what they do, and I shouldn't say it's rare, but it's hard to do, is that they will just beat you physically every game. And Chris Carroll, the English coach, said after Friday's game that he's going to play all Northeastern Conference teams from here on out. And he says he won't play a team as physical as St. Mary's was. They're just very, very physical, and they beat you.
All right, Steve, anything else you want to share with us sports-wise here this week?
No, just my Lynn Technicians had a bad game against Triton, but apparently Triton's pretty good, judging from the way they beat Peabody the week before. I still say watch out for them. Don't underestimate this kid. Gravelly's a good runner. Yeah. And I think they're gonna do some damage in the Commonwealth Conference.
Yeah, good point. All right, Steve, good talking with you, and we'll check back with you soon.
Thanks, Bill.
All right. Steve Krause, sports editor of the Daily Item in Lynn, here with us on MSONewssports.com.
The Porthole Restaurant is a North Shore dining tradition. Enjoy waterfront dining in a casual atmosphere. The Porthole features outstanding quality, quantity, and price. Known for a full variety of menu selections, you must try the award-winning clam chowder, fresh off-the-boat seafood, lobsters, prime rib, steaks and chops, daily luncheon and dinner specials. They feature spacious and well-appointed function rooms. The Porthole, a great value, a great dining experience. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week on the water on the Lynnway in Lynn.
The Lynn Museum, located at 590 Washington Street in the heart of Lynn's emerging downtown cultural district, offers a unique perspective on history as told through the experiences of one of America's most consequential cities. Come this fall and see our newest exhibits, Industry and Craft, People at Work in Lynn, and Collecting for the Objects of Lynn. And I mentioned that admission is free from September 6th through the 30th. We have new hours, too. Visit us Tuesdays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., or online at lynnmuseum.org.
Fact is, including the commute, people spend 10 hours a day at work. No wonder they're forced to buy car insurance in 15 minutes. They just don't have time to go meet with someone. Well, Columbia Insurance has an alternative. The insurance professionals at Columbia Insurance Agency will meet with you at your workplace. Even better, we'll go to the registry and bring your plates back to you at work, free of charge. At Columbia Insurance Agency, we come to you, and we really do. Visit ColumbiaInsuranceAgency.net and set up an appointment today. That's ColumbiaInsuranceAgency.net.
Team up with the Daily Item at itemlive.com, your community information connection. The Daily Item features colorful, timely stories highlighting the North Shore. The new Look page focuses on people, places, and things. The Item is presenting news in a user-friendly format. Don't miss any local news or reading features on your neighbors. Check out the Item today. It's all new every day. For home delivery, call 781-593-7700 or go to itemlive.com. Honeydews seasonal favorites are finally here. Nothing says fall more on a crisp, cool morning than a hot pumpkin spice or maple cream coffee. Complement these coffee flavors with a tasty pumpkin muffin, deliciously sweet cranberry apple stick, or a freshly baked tart apple cider donut. Visit our locally owned and operated Honeydew Donut shops located on the Lynnway and Western Avenue in Lynn, Eastern Avenue in Malden, Canal Street in Salem, and Meridian Street in East Boston. And experience Honeydew's flavors of the fall today.
This is North Shore High School football on MSONEWSports.com. Hi, everyone. Along with Tim Kearns, I'm Bill Newell, and tonight, Marblehead traveling to Danvers to take on the Falcons at Morse Field, Dr. Deering Stadium here in Danvers. Live video streaming of tonight's game. Marblehead coming in, 2 wins, no losses. Wins against Walpole at home and Wakefield on the road, while Danvers defeated Winthrop and Linfield to get to a 2-0 record as well coming into tonight's game. We'll hear from both coaches in just a moment. Jim Rudloff from Marblehead and Sean Terrio from Danvers High School. Tim Kearns alongside. And Tim, this is a big game here tonight. Early going.
It certainly is, Bill, and good evening, everybody. Somebody's going home with a loss on their record tonight. The unblemished aspect will be gone. You look at the first 2 games of the season, you have to believe that Marblehead has played the tougher teams, Walpole, and then Wakefield, as you said. The Wakefield is still in the rebuilding stage. They're missing their starting quarterback. Danvers, again, 2 wins. Winthrop, and then Linfield, and Linfield struggling this year as well. So, but 2-0 is 2-0. That's the thing. You put points on the board. Your defenses have played well. Now we're going to see the struggle of 2 not large conference, large division teams coming off Danvers home field advantage. Going to have the crowd, going to have the band, wanting to maintain that upward swing they're on. Marblehead looking to maintain that high level of play that they have exhibited for the last couple of years. Should be the game of the weekend.
All right, you got it, Tim. Matt Andreas leading the way for the Falcons with some 366 yards in rushing, 3 touchdowns so far in the first 2 games. Marblehead's leading rusher is Jason Lopez. He also has 3 touchdowns, 26 carries, 212 yards. So it'll be Marblehead versus Danvers here tonight on MSONEWSports.com.
Score early and often this fall with a low-rate residential loan from the Institution for Savings. The Institution for Savings has fantastic rates, low or no fees, great service, and prompt turnaround. Plus, we service our mortgages in-house, so help is always a local phone call away. For more information or to apply online 24/7, visit institutionforsavingsloans.com or call us at 978-462-2344. Institution for Savings, member FDIC and DIF, equal housing lender.
Hi folks, this is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber. If you're thinking of replacing the windows in your home, you should look at the Anderson Woodwright Double Hung Insert Window, which comes with rich wood interiors in oak, pine, or maple. Quite simply, Anderson is the most trusted window in America. That's why we've been selling them for 57 years. Please see the Anderson Woodwright windows on display at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, and Plastow, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Moynihan Lumber, we measure up.
Looking for a reliable place to produce your team's uniforms or your business's corporate apparel? Then Sarkeesian Sportswear is the place for you. Conveniently located on Route 1 South in Peabody, Mass., Sarkeesian Sportswear handles all aspects of your needs, from price quoting to providing visual proofs to production completion. Visit our website, sarkeesiansports.com, to view our monthly specials, vendor catalogs, and to request a quote. Remember, Sarkeesian Sportswear is the place to go.
People come in, take a seat, you're really in for a treat at Sylvan Street. A great place to eat and drink and meet with family and friends at Sylvan Street. Treat you right, day or night, satisfy your appetite. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Catch a game with friends, meet for lunch, cocktails after work, or a romantic dinner for 2. Whatever your plan to do it at Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody and Salisbury. See you at Sylvan Street.
Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
This game is brought to you by the Institution for Savings, your local community bank since 1821, with great rates, great service, and great people. Harrington Trophy, rewarding the North Shore for over 25 years with quality products and service, located in Lynn and at harringtontrophy.com. Moynihan Lumber of Beverly, North Reading, and Plastow, New Hampshire. The Sylvan Street Grill. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill. The Daily Item of Lynn and itemlive.com. Click on their banner on our website to access their respected news and sports coverage. This is MSONEWSports.com. Bill Newell here with Jim Rudloff, head football coach at Marblehead High School. Jim, you've got Danvers this week at Danvers, and I guess the question a lot of folks are wondering, how are both of your two teams, both very successful a year ago? How are you guys in 2016?
I think we've both taken steps forwards in some places and maybe steps back in other. Danvers, for example, does not have those 2 beasts that they had on the line last year. And we thank God for that. And we've also lost some key players. Garrett Keogh, Mark Cohen, Reed Cressy, and some other guys that were huge for us last year. So we both lost some critical pieces, but for Danvers, they still have Andreas, and everything sort of goes through him. But as we found, we could spend all week plotting and planning of how to stop him. But as we found last year in the playoffs, I think we knocked him out of the game in the first quarter, and we still lost. So, probably one of the top coaching staffs in the Northeast Conference in Danvers. They certainly know what they're doing on both sides of the ball. And, even when we were in a situation last year where both of their quarterbacks were out, they found a way to beat us. So you have to really tip your caps to them.
Yeah. What about as far as styles and nuances between your club and theirs? What's similar and what's not similar as far as the approaches to the game?
I hate using this word, but I guess to the layman viewer, they would say that Marblehead offensively and defensively is more of a finesse team. Certainly last year, Danvers, just kept hitting us over the head with a sledgehammer on offense. Defensively, I would term their defense as an FU defense. We're going to do this. You're not going to be able to stop us. It's a lot of reminds me of the University of Southern Alabama, or now the University of Alabama Birmingham coaches 3-4 defense. That a fairly sophisticated blitz package. A lot of they play the odd front, but they'll move guys around, put them in different shades. It's just Ryan Nolan does a very good job with the defense over there. But really, what it is, it's a challenge to you. It's what we're going to do. We don't change it up too much, and we're just going to come at you, and you've got to try to figure out how to do your offense under a tremendous amount of pressure.
Jim, on the final couple of questions, your team, you guys picked up your second win, 2 wins, no losses now in the season, Friday night at Wakefield, and maybe some assessment on that. It was a 1-possession game at the half, but then you guys came on strong in the second half.
Yeah, the Wakefield game was interesting for us because we really thought that we were ready, and we had a very good week of practice. Normally, when we have a bad half or something bad happens, I can usually point to the practices that we've had all week. And last week, I thought we had good practices, but when the game started, we came out, we did very well defensively and offensively for the first couple of series. Then things just started to break down, and it was very uncharacteristic because we had a lot of guys making very mental mistakes is one thing, but playing out of control, overrunning people on blitzes or tackles, a lot of arm tacklings. The tackling was very poor. Offensively, some of our offensive linemen sometimes looked like they didn't realize that the other team was going to try to stop us, and we would stop blocking before the whistle. We would stop playing before the whistle. So a lot of uncharacteristic things that were not pleasing to the eye if you were a Marblehead fan. So the other thing I would say is that for the second week in a row we've had blocking in the back penalties and some holding penalties, and that's been frustrating as a coach because those are really unacceptable. We work on those all week long, and hopefully we can clean a lot of that stuff up.
And Jim, finally, I think if now that you've looked at the films out of the Friday game, what might have been something you learned out of the films, maybe a positive, something like that, or something that you might not have seen while you were on the sidelines there, but what's something you pick out of that?
Well, I think I'll start with, Manning Sears came back for the first time. He played sporadically a little bit against Walpole, and so he was back, and we probably put him in there a little early on defense. He hadn't really got a chance to rep it a whole heck of a lot. He'll be back in force this week, but really, he's got to clean up his technique a little bit. He knows that. He'll work hard on that. We'll be able to put him back into the offense again and move him around. David Campbell is back to another senior two-way starter for us, and we'll be able to insert him back in full-time into the offense and defense. So we're excited about that. We had some guys that made some. I thought Griffin Minangello played a good game on the offensive line. Drew Galley certainly did a nice job all game long. Derek Marino offensively played a very good game. So, we just need to get better at everything that we do, and not just to be coach speak, but you really saw it, against Wakefield, that the wheels can fall off the wagon pretty quickly, and you just need to make sure something like that doesn't happen again.
All right, wheels on to Danvers this week. Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck this Friday.
Great. Thanks, Bill.
All right, that's Jim Mardloff, head football coach at Marblehead, with us on MSONEWSports.com.
Harrington's Trophy and Awards has been rewarding the North Shore for over 25 years. Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington.
And I am Marty Harrington, and we are known for our local family business, providing custom trophies, plaques, screen printing, embroidery, and much more. We offer a variety of services such as engraving wedding gifts, medals for charity walks, youth sports trophies, and uniforms. From the newest style performance wear to your everyday work shirts, we are your one-stop shop. Whether it's a fantasy football, warm-up suits for your team, end-of-the-year banquet gifts, or recognizing excellence, we pride our business on our exceptional customer service and quality products. Located in Lynn, or visit our website at harringtontrophy.com.
The Bradford Tavern Restaurant in Rowley is unique, with modern touches in a rustic setting, offering the finest steaks, freshest seafood, and many quality daily specials. Serving lunch and dinner, the Bradford Tavern is open 7 days a week. The restaurant features 2 separate function rooms, ideal for every need, including business meetings, bridal and baby showers, or any special event. The Bradford Tavern is located at 87 Haverhill Street, Route 133 in Rowley, and online at bradfordtavern.com. We hope to see you soon at the Bradford Tavern. The Institution for Savings has always believed in giving back to our communities, because our communities are such great places to live and work. Last year alone, we donated and pledged more than $3.9 million to local nonprofits, including local hospitals, schools, food pantries, art organizations, and more. Named one of Boston Business Journal's top philanthropic companies, we are proud to be your local hometown bank. InstitutionForSavings.com. Member FDIC, DIF, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're interested in replacing your home's kitchen cabinets, please see the kitchen cabinet showrooms at any of Moynihan Lumber's 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Moynihan Lumber, we measure up.
Many aspects of estate planning are interrelated, and you can turn to attorney Bob Madruga for full-service estate planning to help you develop a comprehensive plan in providing for your future. Bob will work with you through the years to adapt your plan as needed, and he can assist you with managing wills, trust, probate, and taxes. Visit the law offices of Robert J. Madruga at 128 Main Street, Gloucester, or call today for an appointment at 978-283-6883.
This game is brought to you in part by the Gloucester House Restaurant, offering the freshest seafood right off their boats to your plate. Sarkeesian Sportswear, delivering quality team and corporate apparel, located on Route 1 South in Peabody, and at SarkeesianSports.com. Lynn Museum, Lynn Arts, preserving Lynn's past and promoting Lynn's future at 590 Washington Street. Columbia Insurance of Lynn, offering auto, home, condo, renters, and business insurance, delivering complete peace of mind. Attorney Robert J. Madruga. See Bob for estate planning and tax preparation. Gloria Food Store, Rantoul Street, Beverly. Honey-Do Donuts of Lynn, Salem, Malden, and East Boston.
This is MSONEWSports.com. I'm Bill Newell with Sean Theriault, head football coach at Danvers High School. And, Sean, you guys had a big one coming up this week with Marblehead.
To say the least. It's been big ones over the last few years, and this one is no different.
Tell us, since you mentioned the last few years, tell us about the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a battle. We've played them 3 times over the last 2 years, 2 times during the season, and then, of course, in the sectional finals last year, and every game has been all it's lived up to be.
You know, I talked with Coach Rudloff, and I kind of asked him, I think folks are, wondering, well, we know both programs have been successful the last few years, but where do you guys think you are compared to one another and compared to those previous, teams from a few years ago, last year and the year before? Where are both of these two teams now?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both good football teams. I think they're different. As in high school football, the personnel changes year to year. They always seem to have a great quarterback. Year after year, they've done a great job with getting good quarterbacks ready to go, really developing them, and keeping their system the way that it's been. And as far as us, we have to adapt to what we have as well and just try to, be able to move the ball and stop them with, the new personnel that we have.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. If you were scouting your team, Coach Theriault, I mean, who would you single out on offense and defensive guys that you're going to go to or you got to stop?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Matt Andreas has rushed for 360 yards over the first 2 games, so he's obviously someone that you got to be aware of. And Taj Coakley has come in and done a great job of spelling him, and I think he has about 15 to 20 yards per carry at this point. But I think as a whole, the offensive line has done an admirable job, considering very few of them have much varsity experience.
Well, tell me, why don't we expand on those guys, the offensive line?
Yeah. I mean, Bruno Abatessa, he's the center. He's the one returning starter, and he's sort of a big physical sort of tone setter. Our 2 guards are Cole Johnson and Kyle Purcell, who just always know where to go and do the right thing. And then our 2 tackles, Jack Ackerley and Brad Anderson, just have really developed into their own this year. And not the biggest kids on the field, but they certainly give everything that they have every play.
Yeah. How about over on the defensive side?
Yeah, defensively, we've always had very good defense here, and we have a couple returning starters in the defensive backfield with Taj and Maddie. But up front, we're pretty new, and kids like, again, Kyle Purcell, Bruno Abatessa, Franco Abatessa, Zach Dillon playing linebacker has done a great job, and Mike Darris at linebacker has done a great job.
Let me go back to this week's game against Marblehead. Contrasting, what's similar and what's contrasted between the two teams here, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think, similarly, it's tough physical kids, that don't like each other too much on the field, in between the lines, different-wise, separately, I think they do a few things offensively different than we do, defensively, they're a little different as far as their scheme goes, but when it comes down to it, the Jimmy and the Joes, it's 2 sets of kids that really bring it every play, and it should be interesting.
And finally, Coach, you're back sort of home here with the brand new stadium here, brand new turf, and so on. And what's that like?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's nice to be able to have a locker room, to be able to have a coach's room, to be able to walk out to a field that you can call your own, and I think the town really enjoys it. Hey, we get better crowds here, and the kids really like to have a place to call home.
All right. Well, Sean, good talking with you, and good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.
Sean Terrio, head football coach at Danvers High School, with us here on MSONEWSports.com. Welcome back to Dr. Deering Stadium here in Danvers, getting ready for tonight's game between Danvers and Marblehead. Both teams coming in at 2-0. Marblehead with impressive wins over Walpole and Wakefield. Danvers getting to 2-0 by defeating Winthrop and Linfield. Marblehead has a quarterback, Drew Galley, new quarterback this year. He's passed 28 of 41 for 281 yards so far this year. So he's off to a pretty good start this year. Justin Fea is his leading receiver with 5 catches for 79 yards. Meanwhile, Danvers High School, led by the running attack of Matt Andreas, 50 carries, 366 yards, 3 touchdowns. Taj Coakley, 179 yards of rushing, 2 touchdowns on 13 carries. So he's definitely a big play runner for Danvers High School, off that basketball team as well for the Falcons. I'm Bill Newell along with Tim Kearns, and we're looking live here, getting ready for the Falcons to hit the field. As you're looking down the banner that they'll be charging through. Tim will also be checking some other scores as we go through the evening.
Yeah, everybody's just getting ready to begin their games, the 7 o'clock kickoffs. And there is a squad car in the parking lot letting the lights go. And I think that's for the Danvers football team as they enter the field.
Yeah, that's their a little extra buzz or sirens here to get the welcome the Falcons onto the field. Right now we just don't see the Falcons, but that's what they're down below beyond that banner. It's a little hard to see the flashing lights of the police car if you're watching, but you can clearly hear the sirens down there as well. Well, Tim, around the North Shore tonight, the other game, probably just as big as this one, except for the fact that it's in the NEC South. Swampscott traveling to Gloucester tonight, so this is number 1 in the league, so to speak. Even though all these teams have played 2 games this year, the Swampscott at Gloucester game, Swampscott coming in 2-0, Gloucester 1-1, having lost to Beverly. But this should be a great game tonight. It's live radio on Channel B tonight, up on MSO Radio Live Channel B. They're the Falcons entering the field right now. Then you've got Lynn Classical playing at Revere tonight. Those 2 teams looking for their first win. Somebody's going to come out of there with a win unless they go to a tie or something like that. Winthrop at Danvers tonight. Salem playing under the lights at Saugus, the portable lights in Saugus. Fenwick at home hosting Pentucket. St. John's Prep is playing tomorrow afternoon at Everett, homecoming game. Ipswich, Tim. Now, Ipswich knocked off Newburyport last week at home at Ipswich, and so they're up at Triton tonight. So that'll be a good gauge of a game to see how good Ipswich is.
Yeah, Newburyport beats Triton. And then Ipswich beats Newburyport. So how is it going to play out this week with Ipswich? It's a big emotional lift for Ipswich. Can they continue that momentum against a very, very tough, well-balanced Triton team and come out with the second win of the year? Certainly it would be a huge accomplishment for them and really lays the groundwork for the rest of the season.
Manchester Essex is at Essex Tech tonight.
That's a big test for Manchester Essex, 2-0. Essex Tech, always big, fast, physical. That's going to be a big test for them.
Linfield at Amesbury, Somerville at North Reading, Wakefield traveling to Watertown tonight. Other games, Burlington hosting Melrose, Malden Catholic at Malden, Austin Prep at Arlington Catholic. And as both teams are now back out onto the field, a couple of notes here tomorrow. Our live radio game on Channel A tomorrow at 1 o'clock will find Peabody at Beverly. We'll hear from both coaches prior to the game, and in this game you really have, again, it's really game 1 of the league. So even though Peabody is 1-1, Beverly 2-0, as far as the league is concerned, it's both teams kind of entering this one at 0-0, and it's here on MSONEWSports.com. Here's our anthem from Danvers.
Well, Tim, last year these two teams, Marblehead and Danvers, played twice, once during the regular season and then again in the playoffs, with Danvers winning the playoff game, Marblehead winning the regular season game. And you were noting earlier, Tim, how both of these two coaches really have great records at their schools. Rudloff at Marblehead, 61-20 in his years at Marblehead, while Coach Sean Terrio is 16-9 at Danvers. And that team last year just really kind of came out of nowhere and really set the tone for the athletic season in Danvers for 2015 and 16, and they just had a terrific season.
Well, certainly Danvers athletics has been prominent in North Shore for so many years, with football, basketball, certainly boys and girls soccer, girls field hockey, baseball, the hockey. Okay, I mean it's just a school that has a very rich athletic tradition. Marblehead the same way, so you're not surprised that the kids buy into the system. They buy into the pride. They buy into the lore, the heritage of the kids that have played before them. So for them to be successful last year, and you're going to have down years. We all realize that. For the talent pool, the interest maybe wanes, and if you've got to build it back up again. Coach Terry's come in. He has reinvigorated the spirit, reinvigorated the desire, and the kids have bought into the system that he's employing. And that's the biggest thing. Believe in what the coaches are trying to achieve, or at least the manner. We're all trying to win, but the manner in which they're trying to get it there. And he's had the athletes to do that as well. He's had great leadership, and the kids who've come in as that started as sophomores are now seniors for him. They know what he wants. They know the expectations, and they're leading by example and by production.
Danvers will be kicking off to Marblehead. Marblehead is on the near side here. They've got the home white uniforms, the black helmets, the black numerals with the red trim around them, the black pants. Danvers across the way with the white helmets, the bright blue jerseys, and the white pants. Again, Sean Terrio is the head football coach at Danvers High School. Andy St. Pierre is the athletic director in Danvers. Andrew O'Neill is the athletic director in Marblehead, and Jim Rudloff is the head coach for Marblehead. Going back deep for Marblehead to receive the kickoff, Jason Lopez back there, as well as Justin Fea. Fea is on the near side here. Lopez over on the far side of the field. The kick will come from right to left from Danvers. David Zebick will be kicking off for the Falcons. Bill Newell, Tim Kearns with you. Live streaming video coverage of tonight's game here on MSONEWSports.com. There's Zebick teeing it up at the 40-yard line. A senior kicker for Danvers High School. Again, the kick, if it goes down deep, on the near side here is Justin Fea. He's standing at his own 5 to the left, and the other deep guy is Jason Lopez. It comes up, and Lopez fields it on one hop at the 15-yard line, runs outside left to the 20, up to the 25-30, breaks a tackle up to the 40, and is smashed down at about the 44 or 43-yard line. Jason Lopez with a kickoff return for Marblehead.
Well, it took the kickoff. Bounced once, it bounced up in the air, really nice, easy to receive bounce. Lopez took it right up the far hash marks. He found a seam, burst through the line of coverage, and was hauled down from behind, as you described, Bill. Great field position around the 42, 43-yard line for Marblehead to open up this initial drive.
Yeah, they start first down at their own 43-yard line. Drew Galley is the quarterback, works out of the shotgun, halfback set to his right side, takes the direct snap. The give is to Lopez, straight ahead up to the 48 or 49.
Lopez on the carry.
And each team can throw the ball, each team can run the ball, but the preferred method is establish your run so you can set up the pass. Both teams, outstanding running games.
Lopez for 6 yards, second down and 4. Going out wide to the left side is Bo Millett, number 5 out there. Justin Fea sliding out there as well, way out on the left side, number 12 coming out to the far side. In motion to the near side is Harry Craig, optioning it out on the right side to Lopez. He pounds ahead down to the 46, enough for the first down, gaining 5 yards.
Yeah, that was
a gain of 5. It's going to be enough for an additional first down.
tough 5 yards. Once he took the pitch near the 50-yard line marker, he had to weave his way up to get those 5 yards. The last couple were rather tough because he had 3 guys draped over him.
Marblehead showing you a lot of looks here as they end movement. Over on the near side, Derek Marino, number 85, listening in for the play call without a huddle. Drew Galley brings the Magicians out. 2 wideouts, 2 each way. Out of the shotgun, he throws it in the backfield off to Lopez, who makes the catch. Behind midfield, comes over midfield, down to the 45 to the 41. That would be a gain of 5 yards on the catch.
Yeah, that was a lateral pass, Bill. It went about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, that backward angle. Good thing it was thrown well, but if that ball gets loose, that was a freebie.
Yeah, it would have been a live football in the backfield, a fumble. Fake handoff to Lopez, the keeper, quarterback Galley, straight ahead, big hole down to the 30, still going. Inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line, maybe the 27. Galley's started at his 41 or so, goes 31, 21, maybe about 18 yards.
Great fake. Danvers defense just flowed to the running back on that play.
Wing coming around from the left side to the right side. Ball's down to the 10-yard line.
Touchdown saving tackle there.
That's Lopez coming near side. 9 minutes to play. Nice drive here by Marblehead. Started at their own 43-yard line after a nice kickoff return by Lopez. The ball's down inside the 15 at the 13. And wing coming around. Here's Lopez coming near side right, pushed out of bounds. Tackle there made by Matt Andreas, pushing him out of bounds. He's got a first down at the 11, it appears. 11 or 12.
Linfield has already scored to open up the game. 27-yard pass. More light to Dancy.
Yeah, ball is, we call it 12 maybe? Let's call it the 12.
Just inside the 12, Bill.
Yep. So it's not to the 11 yet. So the ball's on the 12, 1st and 10 for Marblehead in Danvers territory. Fake, the give is to Lopez, hitting off the left side of the line, pushing his way to the 9. And then push back back over the 10. Jason Lopez, senior running back. Met a wall of players. Offensive line, Aiden Gillis at center. Griffin Meningelo at a guard, Nick Corsini at another guard, Ryan Dumes and Will Bosworth at the tackles for Marblehead. Bo Millett at end, Manning Sears and Derek Marino seeing end action as well. Right now kind of a full, you got backs each side. Harry Craig in there as the right halfback goes in motion up high. And the quarterback, Galley, keeps it, goes straight ahead inside the 10 to the 7. Of course, he can get a first down at just outside the 1-yard line. Just under 8 minutes to play, first quarter, no score. First possession of the game here, Marblehead with it.
Not a good start for the Gloucester Fishermen. They received the opening kick, fumbled the first snap. Swampskid has the ball at the Gloucester 37-yard line.
Boy, they were so red hot last week, was Swampscott in their game against Lynn Classical. 2 wideouts to the far side left. There's a pass back into the backfield, and Lopez has it, but he's hit at the 15, a loss on that play.
Number 33 for Danvers, senior Quentin Holland, came up, wrapped up as soon as he received that pass in the backfield and would not let go.
Well, they had a nice feature on Quinn Holland in the Salem News this week, a wrestler, maybe the top wrestler in the Northeastern Conference for Danvers, and he is playing some defense out there at a linebacker spot for Danvers. Quarterback rolling out to the right side, firing to the 1-yard line. There's a catch. Is he inbounds? Officials saying yes, he's inbounds. And it could be a 1st and goal at the 1. Yeah, it's a...
Wow. Touchdown. The pass thrown to the near corner to us, Bill, and somehow it got past the Danvers defender, and the Marblehead receiver was able to haul it in, but fell out of bounds before he could take it into the end zone.
Here's Lopez straight ahead from the 1-yard line in for the touchdown after the big catch just a moment ago by Harry Craig down at the 1-yard line for Marblehead. So Lopez goes in for the 1-yard touchdown run.
Well, Marblehead established both a little bit of pass, mainly flare passes to the sidelines, and a very effective running game using both Lopez and quarterback. So it's Galley. So it's going to be a guessing game for the Danvers defense tonight if Marblehead is able to continue to effectively mix up the play calling.
Sam Paquette to attempt the point after kick. The ball is teed up for him. The kick is up. It's strong.
Oops.
And it is good. It is good. Looked like I wasn't sure if it was fading left, but it was a good strong kick by Paquette. He's got the point after kick, and it is 7-0 Marblehead.
55-inch flat screen TV that will be drawn for tonight at halftime. Tickets are $5 a piece.
So that would be a 57-yard drive for Marblehead to open up the game. So right away they're up on the board first, 7-0 here on MSONEWSports.com. Game brought to you in part tonight by Moynihan Lumber of Beverly, North Reading, and Plastown, New Hampshire, as well as the Sylvan Street Grill, where you can watch these games here on MSONEWSports.com.
Essex Tech leading Manchester Essex 7-0 after a elite rushing touchdown. So the scores are starting to come in fast and furious as teams are scoring on their opening drives here, Bill.
Like Marblehead. So Paquette will kick off to Danvers, left to right here. 6 minutes, 48 seconds to go, first quarter, here on MSONEWSports.com. There's a ground ball kick, rolling all the way to the 30, to the 29-yard line. Picked up there by Taj Coakley, coming near side left, 30, 35. Pushed to the sidelines at the 40. Maybe only to the 39. Taj Coakley on a nice return, as it turns out, after the ball squibbed by and up back. And they'll place it right down on the 39-yard line. I say that with confidence, not seeing the ball actually. There it goes, down to the 39.
You know it's out there somewhere, Bill.
Well, you know, they sometimes will fake you out a little bit. They'll stand over that 39-yard line, then push it ahead a yard or back a yard or whatever. You just never know for sure. That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. I formation in the backfield for Danvers High School, behind their quarterback, Justin Maleni. Maleni spins, hands off. There it is. Andreas coming far side right, turns the corner, up to the 43. Wrestled to the sidelines there. Andreas, the ball carrier, senior, mentioned that he had comes into the game with 366 yards of rushing. Ball placed to the 43, 4-yard gain for the Danvers runner. 2nd down and 6. Bruno Abatessa at center, Kyle Purcell and Cole Johnson the guards, Jack Ackerley and Brad Anderson the tackles for Danvers. Backfield includes Andreas, also Matt Reedy. We'll check some others here for you in a moment as well. Single setback, a tailback behind the quarterback, Justin Maleni. Spins, hands off. Runner coming back over the 45, close to a first down, out near the 48.
Again, this is
Andreas, the ball carrier.
You know, with two veteran teams, your offensive, defensive lines are going to have, 2-3 guys with 2-3 years of experience up there, and those guys are going to be the key to determining the fate of their teams tonight. Opening up the holes, sealing the edge.
3rd down and 1 for Danvers at their 48-yard line. Andreas has carried the ball twice so far for the Falcons. Quarterback keeper here, Maleni straight ahead. Appears to have the surge enough for the first down. He's going to be stopped right. The ball's resting just on the Danvers side of midfield, but it's enough for a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 Falcons from midfield.
Give him 2 yards on that. 5 minutes to play. First quarter. 7-0 Marblehead. Marblehead scoring on a 1-yard touchdown run by Jason Lopez. 57-yard drive for the Magicians to start tonight's game. First down here for Danvers right at midfield. I formation in the backfield behind quarterback Maleni, right up behind center. He keeps it, hits off the left side of the line, but he's wrapped up, no gain. Ran into a number of Marblehead defenders.
Yeah, primarily number 49, Sam Frontero, came up and stopped anything positive happening on that particular play.
Defensive front line, Manning Sears, Bo Millett, Christian Hanniger, Andy Clow, Teddy Miley,
Aiden Gillis back in the linebacker, Sam Frontero, a linebacker, Harry Craig out in the secondary, Jason Lopez, Sam Paquette, and Justin Thea. Also back there right now, I'm seeing for Marblehead High School, Derek Marino back out there as a corner. No gain, 2nd down 10. Millennium of Danvers rolling out, the quarterback firing on the fly, incomplete, upfield. And there on the hit of the receiver, Derek Marino on the hit as the ball was coming in the vicinity of the receiver, an incomplete pass. So now the Falcons have a 3rd down and 10 from midfield.
Pass intended for number 89, Kieran Moriarty.
A lot of folks looking at this game as really a pick'em game. Danvers home here tonight.
Yeah, we were talking before the game, looking at the Salem News pick'ems. The sports writers have split 3-3 as to who will win this game.
High formation in the backfield, and Danvers going for it on 3rd down. Oh, this is a 3rd down here. And here is Millennium rolling out right side, heaving it way down on the right, overthrows his receiver down on the right side. Incomplete pass. Matt Reedy, the intended receiver, the junior, number 18.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a misread by the quarterback or the receiver, but the pass was thrown another 10 yards downfield. The receiver had cut off the route and headed to the sideline. So tough to tell just where that error in judgment may have occurred.
Zach Turner to punt for Danvers. He's standing back at his own 35 to the right. One returner on the punt coverage for Marblehead, standing at the 15-yard line. 7-0, Marblehead leading. Snap comes back to Turner. Right foot goes into the ball. Good high punt going away from Lopez, the returner. Kicking in from the 25 down to the 15. Pinning Marblehead back inside the 13 at about the 12, where they will start. First possession, Marblehead started at their 43. Now they start at their 12. Danvers started their drive at the 39, got a 1st down, but that was all they got. Tim Kearns on the scoreboard here tonight. Any score in the Swampscott game?
Not yet. Swampscott missed a field goal after the early Gloucester fumble deep in their own territory.
Well, that would be our own Sean Larizzi, our player of the week. Probably attempting that field goal. Marblehead offense back out on the field. From the 12, they hit off the left side of the line, a rush for maybe a yard or two. Drew Galley, the quarterback. Galley on the keeper. Again, the offensive line, Aiden Gillis, a junior at center. Griffin Meningello and Nick Corsini, the guards. Ryan Dumas and Will Bosworth, the tackles. Defensive front group for Danvers, Jack Ackerley, Bruno Abatessa, Kieran Moriarty. Linebackers include Quinn Holland, Zach Dillon, Mike Darris, and Zach Sasso. Here's a pass play out on the right side, a look-in pass incomplete out on the right side. The intended receiver was Manning Sears off the arm of Drew Galley.
Yeah, threw that just a tad high. Sears went up, but couldn't bring it down. Good coverage on the play, though, by the Danvers secondary.
Well, if Sears does come down with that football, if it's just thrown a little bit differently,
yes.
He
had
fly.
inside position.
Yeah.
But the coverage was tight on the backside.
Just under 3 minutes to play, first quarter. 7-0 Marblehead. Marblehead with the football. Quarterback options it out. A quick shovel pass from Galley to is that Lopez standing? But yeah, Lopez everywhere. Takes it and runs out over the 25 to about the 30-yard line.
That's a last-second move, Bill, because I think Galley wanted to make the run himself. Suddenly he realized he had someone draped on his backside, and he just flipped it forward to Lopez, took it straight up the middle.
Almost an 18-yard reception to Lopez. Here's the quarterback, Galley, sprinting out to the left side. Right-hand toss, way downfield, incomplete, intended for Harry Craig.
Yeah, Craig had a step or two on the defensive back, far side of the field. But again, Galley was throwing that ball on the run, didn't have time to set his feet to get really good control of it, but threw the ball a long way on the run. Has a real strong arm.
He does. Running left with a right-hand throw. Ball is on the 30-yard line. This will be 2nd down and 10 for the Magicians. Starting this possession on their 12. Leading 7-0, 2.5 minutes to play first quarter. Galley from the shotgun. Handoff right away. Running back is stood up there There's Quinn Holland with another hit. Ooh, Lopez, the ball carrier.
That was textbook. Lopez saw an alley up the middle, and he put it into fourth gear, heading into overdrive. And Quinlan just met him there, and you could tell he's used to pinning people because he stopped him in his tracks and planted him.
That looked like a cartoon right there. The way Holland just stopped him, like running into a wall. Deep drop, middle screen over the middle. Is it a catch? If so, it's no gain.
Yeah, unfortunately,
calling it a catch. It's going to be a loss, actually.
Galley found himself under a lot of pressure. He dumped the ball off, and it was low, and the receiver was just able to make the catch, probably ill-advised, but he had nowhere to go.
Well, defense holds for Danvers. They'll force Marblehead to punt, and a flag falls here. Could be
That's as high as I've seen a referee throw a flag in a while.
Yeah.
He got elevation on that one.
5-yard penalty against Marblehead, a substitution penalty.
We do have a couple of scores here, Bill, while we have a moment. Triton 6-0 over Ipswich first quarter. Essex Tech 7-0 over Manchester Essex. Linfield 7-0 over Amesbury.
Paquette, a very high punt, a short punt for Marblehead, lands in Marblehead territory, rolling ahead out to the 44 and out of bounds there. So Danvers will start at the Marblehead 44-yard line or so. Let's see where they actually do mark it down. Yeah, 44.
First and 10 in Marblehead territory at the 44.
Well, this is a huge break here. The punt was very high off the foot of Paquette of Marblehead. Coming down, actually, he did get a little roll in his favor.
David Ortiz has gone deep again for the Red Sox. They lead 2-0.
You know, you wake up and you think, is this really happening? What's going on here with these guys? Danvers with a man in motion from left to right. Quarterback rolling out to the right side and then handing off inside. Power rush down to the 40-yard line.
Swampscott is threatening against Gloucester. They have it second down at the Gloucester 8-yard line. And David Ortiz just tied the great Lou Gehrig for 10th most extra base hits in Major League Baseball history with 1,190, and the records continue to mount, or the record achievements for David Ortiz just keep mounting.
Matt Andrews with a 5-yard run for Danvers. Who else? One wide out near side left for the Falcons. Second down and 5. High formation in the backfield behind quarterback Mullaney. Spins, hands off to the tailback off the left side of the line. Down near the 35 or 36, Andreas unpiles. Well, they're not afraid to go to Andreas and then go to him again and again and again.
Exactly. Well, we didn't see a Salem score earlier, but Phil Stacy reporting it's now 13-0. Salem over Saugus, a 52-yard pass play from Lubas to Gaskins.
Salem picked up a win last week. They're 1-1 heading into that game tonight. One wide out, Matt Reedy going far side out to the right side. High formation in the backfield behind quarterback Mullaney, who's right up behind center on a 3rd down and 1. And I think somebody's called time. No, it's the quarter. We've come to the end of the first quarter with the score. Marblehead 7, Danvers nothing here on MSONEWSports.com. Hang in there with us.
The Gloucester House Restaurant at historic Seven Seas Wharf, 63 Roger Street, Gloucester. This is owner Lenny Linquata.
We provide service and product better than anybody else. It comes directly from our boats right to your plate. We have fishermen that work great for us. We are wholesalers that we buy what we want to serve to our customers, and we put the rest of it right out in the market.
The Gloucester House Restaurant. Visit thegloucesterhouse.com.
This is the freshest seafood you can get from our boats to your plate.
If you're thinking of renovating your home, please talk to the experienced sales staff at Moynihan Lumber. That's 82 River Street in downtown Beverly. Or visit us at MoynihanLumber.com.
Moynihan Lumber, we measure up.
MSONEWSports.com. MSO Radio.
Getting ready for the second quarter. Marblehead leading 7-0 on their first possession. They marched 57 yards for the game's only score, a 1-yard touchdown run by Jason Lopez. And now Danvers has the ball for the second time tonight, starting this drive at the
Marblehead 44. They now are down to the 35 of Marblehead. Justin Mullany right up behind center. Three-man stack eye in the backfield, and they give us to Reedy, the tailback, off the right side. Or is that Andreas again? Andreas again. Running out of the power. Down to the 32.
32-yard line. That's enough for Danvers.
That's a first down.
Swampscott has scored. Gloucester had held on the inside the 10-yard line. Swampscott went to kick a field goal. It was a roughing the kicker penalty, and they made Gloucester pay by scoring the touchdown.
Three-man stack eye here. Reminiscent of the old Salem High teams under Coach Ken Perone. Used to run that formation many times. Here's Mullany rolling out left side, putting a man down on the left side. Incomplete. Down on the left side, Zach Dillon, I believe the intended receiver.
Again, a good pass, but Galley was throwing on the run, and he had time to check up, square his shoulders, and put the ball because the receiver was wide open. He was probably 5 to 8 yards behind the defense. And because Galley was throwing on the run, going to his right, the ball, going to his left rather, the ball sailed left away from the receiver. And that was Justin Mullany, the intended receiver on that play.
No, the quarterback, Mullany.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Mullany right up behind center here. His team down 7-0, second quarter. Just over 10 minutes to play here in the first half. Looked like a fumble on the exchange from center to quarterback, covered up. And it appears that Danvers has maintained possession of the football. They have. Ball's placed down at the 33, so there's no gain here, maybe a loss of a foot.
It's going to bring up a third and just over 10 yards.
So third down and just a little over 10 yards for the Falcons. Beautiful new field here in Danvers. First time Tim and I have been here. Rick and the crew were here for opening night against Winthrop 2 weeks ago. So Danvers now sending Taj Coakley, split end out left side, wide out to the right side, Mike Reedy. I believe that's Reedy. Two men in the backfield. And the fake give. Here's the pass. Screen out on the left side. Andreas has the catch at the 35. Charges ahead to the 30. Short of the first down, but Falcons are in 4-down territory here, you would think. It'll set up. It's about a gain of about 3 on the pass play. 4th down and 7.
Yeah, screen pass. They allowed the defensive end to come screaming in. They dumped it out to the far side, flats to Andrews. And again, Marblehead very quick. The secondary come up very quickly and shuts it down for just a minimal gain.
2 wideouts near side right. Coakley slotted to the right side. Mullany out of the shotgun this time. Halfback set to his right side. Snaps a bit high. Sprints out to the right side. Mullany throws out on the right side. It's not Coakley. It's Andreas with a catch short of the first down. Pushed out of bounds, short of the first down. And so Marblehead will take over on downs. On the hit for Marblehead, Drew Galley making the stop defensively, it appeared, for Marblehead. So now Marblehead will take over on offense. Galley staying right out on the field at quarterback. Looking over to the near side to get the play call. North Shore Sports Night is every Monday night at 7 o'clock with Rick Moore, Tim Kearns. A lot of sports talk, a lot of high school football during the football season on the program live Monday nights at 7. Man in motion. That's Harry Craig. Pass out on the left side. Lopez with the catch in the backfield. Sprints up to the 26. Let's see. Maybe a yard or two. A lot of motion now, obviously. Maybe a 2-yard gain out to the 27.
Jermaine Edwards has scored for Gloucester on a 31-yard scamper. Kick was no good. 7-6.
Call it 2nd down and 7. 3-yard gain on the pass play. To Lopez from quarterback Galley. Takes the direct snap. No rush here. A little rush coming in. The pass is incomplete. Look-in pass intended there for Bo Millett, the senior. Couldn't quite hang on to the ball. Thrown low.
Yeah, it was a little bit away from me. Dove to make the catch off the fingertips.
Danvers defense with looking at a 3rd and long here. 3rd and probably 7 here. 8:13 to go first half. Here in Danvers, 7-0 Marblehead is leading. Scored on their very first possession.
Galley out of the shotgun, halfback. Lopez to his left side, blocks for him this time. He'll pass out on the left side. The catch is made by Craig up on the left side. He is close to a first down, but it would appear that he's, not quite there. Looks like he could be a yard short. Or 2 yards short.
Number 3, Harry Craig.
And now Paquette coming out on the field to punt. So he's placed the football down at about the 31. So it's 4th down and 2, a long 2.
Winthrop, 13-6, so about on top of Lynn English at the end of 1.
That's at Manning Field in Lynn tonight. So Paquette there to receive the long snap. One returner for Danvers off to our left. The right foot goes into the ball, and Paquette booms this punt. High punt. Fair catch called for.
Fair catch called by Matt Andrews.
Matt Andrews with a fair catch at the 35.
Punt is collected at the 35-yard line. It's going to bring 1st and 10 from Danvers' own 35-yard line.
Well, again, a quick catch-up. Marblehead leads here in Danvers, 7-0, 7-6. Swampscott over Gloucester, 13-6, as I just mentioned, over Lynn English. Salem 13-0 over Saugus, playing in the momentum from last week, and we'll play catch-up on the rest of them in a moment.
Elaine Nyland to the press box.
Danvers jumps up to the line of scrimmage. Matt Andreas at the tailback spot. Got a penalty here.
So substitution.
A substitution penalty. Second one we've seen tonight. Other one was against Marblehead, right? This one is against Danvers.
Good news for the Red Sox. Bill Pomerantz had a 1-2-3 first inning.
Hey, it's all good now, Tim. All good. There's no bad news.
It's scary.
They have a magic number for the World Series here, I think here. Wideouts one each way for the Falcons. 1st down and 15 now from the 30. And Andreas takes the handoff off the left side. There's 10 yards back. There's 12. There's 13, 14. 14-yard run for Matt Andreas. Looks like he's going to be 1 yard short of the first down on a 1st and 15-yard run.
Well, he found his seam up the left side, and he just exploited it using his speed and quickness. And again, he sidestepped a couple of would-be tackles, and then it was mass mayhem to bring him down. Geez, I wonder who the ball will go to on this 2nd down play, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the Winthrop game, right? I believe, didn't Andreas have something like 15 straight handoffs to him or something crazy like that?
Yeah, the gentleman sitting next to us passed that on to us. They started the second half. It was 0-0, and they gave it to Andreas 15 times in a row, and all of a sudden it was a 14-0 lead for Danvers.
They give it to him this time, but this time there's a procedure call against the Falcons. Their second penalty in this possession here. 5-yard penalty going against Danvers. 7 minutes, 7 seconds to go first half. Danvers trailing here 7-0. The ball will be placed at their 39-yard line. 2nd down and 6 now after the penalty. Andreas with about 35 yards of rushing here so far here tonight for Danvers. Taj Coakley coming out as a wideout near side right, number 7 out there. Maleni calling the signals. Hands off. Andreas off the left side. There's the first down out to midfield. Into Marblehead territory to the 48.
Same play that he just ran for 14 yards on. Same trap play, he gets over the left side, and again, when he gets to that second level, just uses his speed.
I have a little stat sheet, Tim, where I have a row here for runners and passers and stuff, and I mistakenly thought, well, I'll leave Andreas 1 line here for carries, but I should have left him 4 lines here. What am I thinking? That's not going to do. That's not going to work here.
Either that or
I need an Andreas page, maybe a whole page to chart Andreas here. The give is to Andreas, left side, dances to the 48, and that's it. He probably just got back to the line of scrimmage before he was met by a number of defenders.
Aiden Gillis, number 52, linebacker from Marblehead, made sure he didn't get any further. He just wrapped him up in a bear hug and brought him down.
I think Aiden is the grandson. I think that's the relationship with the legendary Bill Gillis, the former athletic director up at Salem State.
Yeah, remember Bill? He was there when I was there. We won't discuss the decade that occurred in, Bill.
He was a student there probably when you were there, right? No, he was the AD then?
No, actually,
Or a coach.
He was a coach.
Okay.
Yep.
Quarterback out, run, throwing, and kind of a loose little grab there, caught there.
That
Down
should
on
be
the
a
right
flag.
side by Holland.
But
Quinn
no
Holland out of the
flag.
backfield
Wow.
with the reception, and Holland gets a first down to the 30.
I'm surprised there was no flag on the end of that play, Bill. Holland took the pass and sort of stopped on the sideline. The Marblehead defender thought he was going to go out of bounds, and as the Marblehead player sort of gave up on it, he scooted down the sideline. And as he went down the field, the Marblehead player pushed him out, and then when they were off the field, he threw him about 8 yards down and right in front of two officials, and each one turned their back on it. Very surprised. That was a little bit excessive.
Danvers threatening here. Ball at the 30-yard line of Marblehead. First down, 5:19 to play first quarter. 7-0 Marblehead leading. Second quarter, 5:19 to play in the first half. Hand off to Taj Coakley. Hits off the left side of the line. Gets nothing. Stop there. Needed line of scrimmage was the 30. Coakley, a junior. Sean Terrio, a head football coach at Danvers. Andy St. Pierre, the school's athletic director. A little shout out to the athletic department over in Marblehead, Andrew O'Neill and Mark Tarmy over there. And, of course, their head coach.
Masco up on Newburyport, 13-7 with 7:50 to go in the first half.
Jim Rudloff patrolling the sidelines for Marblehead. Down below us here. Marblehead on the near side. This will be a second down and maybe 11 or so. Here's a quick pass over the middle. Andreas with it, look-in pass. Caught at the 25, run ahead to the 20, inside the 20. Enough for a first down. They'll move the chains ahead. He's to the 19.
Just a nice little drag, Pat and Bill. He was in the slot, and Marblehead defense really didn't pay any attention to him. He just dragged in at an angle towards the hash marks, and a nice quick pass. Hit him in stride, and again, big gain for Danvers. They're moving the ball very efficiently in this drive.
Matt Andreas, the receiver. He can catch, and then he's very dangerous on the run. Reedy, a wide out near far side left. Quarterback hands off. Andreas starts to the middle, cuts back outside right, down to the 14.
Yeah, he doesn't waste a lot of time juking. He's just more of a straight-ahead runner, and then if he has to, he can make a move, but he prefers to run in that straight line, and he picks up a lot of yards just with the determination.
Yeah, that's determination for sure. About a 5-yard gain for him. Second down and 5. Time running down here. First half, 3.5 minutes to play. Ball at the 14. Danvers without a score here tonight, trailing 7-0 late first half. Again, Reedy going out far side left. Got the two-man eye in the backfield. Andreas, the tailback. Holland, the fullback. The give is to Andreas. Hits off the left side of the line. He's down near the 10. He needs to get inside the 10 for a first down. So he maybe got 4 yards. He's got a long 1 or maybe almost 2 yards to go here. 2 minutes, 55 seconds. Ball at the 11-yard line. Third down and kind of a short 2 for Danvers in 4-down territory. Mulaney, long count, spins, handoff. Yes, Andreas, the ball carrier, dances over the 10 to the 5, diving for the pile-in. He's in, touchdown.
Well, he wasn't juking, but he was shifting, Bill, as he headed towards the near corner to us. He was looking for the angles to get on the defensive backs as they tried to shut him off from the corner of the end zone, and he would just shift slightly to make the defensive back stop and give pause to see if he was going to come back into the middle. And that little shift gave him the opportunity to dive into the near corner for the end zone. Now we'll see if they can tie it up. Whistle on the play before the kick.
David Zebick will attempt the point after kick to our right. 7-6, 1 point difference. Looks like a penalty against Marblehead. Will that ball creep a little bit closer? Another substitution area. That's the third substitution area here we've seen tonight. So Zebic getting ready for the point after kick. Maleni to hold for him, the junior quarterback. Number 2. Uprights to our right. 2 minutes 28 seconds to play first half. Ball's teed up. The kick is up and strong. It's good, and we're tied.
It is good. Tying the score, 7-7. With just over 2 minutes to play here in the first half.
The AP is reporting, Billy, that the Cubbies beat the Cardinals this afternoon for their 98th win, their most since 1945. Is it the Cubbies here? Will we see Cubs Red Sox?
Yeah.
Theo returns to Boston.
Well, here we go. There's the clock with the 2 minutes 28 seconds to play first half. Tied at 7 here in Danvers. Got a good news story here, too. A woman had her purse turned in up here in the press box, and Sean here announced it, but she didn't. A woman comes up looking for her purse, didn't hear the announcements, comes up, and they've reunited a woman with her purse here at Deering Stadium tonight. Isn't that a feel-good story?
And there's nothing more endearing than a woman finding her purse. She would rather lose her husband than lose her purse.
Yeah.
In fact, she lost her husband at the same time and didn't ask for him at all.
Yeah, her husband was probably supposed to watch the purse, and the heck with that guy. But she's got her purse. That's the good news. That's a great story.
I thought she was looking for that 55-inch TV.
Yeah, Tim's hanging tight to his clutch that he brought tonight. Here's the kickoff from Zebic down to the 11-yard line, fielded by Marblehead. This is Lopez coming back near side, 30, 35, 40. Flag down. He's to midfield, taken down. Let's see where that ends up. There is a flag down, but a nice return by Lopez.
Yeah, Jenna, those flags indicate a block in the back or some kind of holding. And this could push Marblehead back from the point to the foul, which is roughly the 48-yard line where the referee is standing.
Yeah, holding the call against the Magicians on the return.
Boy, Lopez is fast. He hides behind the blockers, and then he explodes out from behind them. And once he sees that seam, boy, he is tough to catch. There was a Danvers special teams player chasing him with his arm extended, trying to get a hold of him, and he couldn't catch up to Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez came into tonight's game with over 200 yards rushing, so averaging over 100 yards per game here so far this year.
64-yard pass play from Matt Severance to Prince Brown allows Lynn English to tie up with the 13-all in the second quarter.
There's a guy here behind us got a laugh like you, Tim. You know,
deep, rich,
vibrant laugh. Yes, wonderful laugh. Ball at the 37-yard line. First down, Marblehead. 2:19 to play. First half. Game tied at 7. Magicians send out two receivers to the far side right, one near side left. Drew Galley, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. Fake give to Lopez. Pass out on the right. A little wobbler. Tipped and caught by Manning Sears. Downfield he goes to the 20, to the 10, and in. A 63-yard touchdown pass.
Well, there's an instance where the tip drill goes to the wrong man. And Sears just happened to be behind the defenders, and he caught it almost in stride. A double tip. And
wow.
There wasn't a damage play within 5-6 yards of him as he headed downfield to the far corner. I think there was nobody more surprised than him that the ball ended up in his hands.
Yeah, you saw the tip and you think, oh, that'll be the end of this play. But there goes tip and then goes to Manning Sears. Point after kick by Paquette is strong and good. And the 7-7 tie is broken, and Marblehead leads 14-7 on the Manning Sears 63-yard pass. Tim being blessed here by a couple of folks here. Bless you, Tim.
They're sending out for the Pope right now.
Yeah.
Swampscott has...
They're lighting candles down here, too, for you.
There'll be no Venus at 9.
Yeah.
Swamp's just gone out ahead of Gloucester 10-6 now after a successful 32-yard field goal.
Tim was a wonderful color announcer. Just did a great job. 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Well, your last...
You talked about my laugh earlier. A couple of people at school said they're going to miss my laugh when I retire next year. And I said, okay, so I should just leave my laugh. They don't care about me. They don't want me. They want to have my laugh in the hallway.
You know, you could get one of those laugh buttons. It could be you doing the laugh on the button. Push the button and there you go.
And that's what I'll leave at the school.
Pauquette's kickoff from Marblehead to Danvers all the way down to the 7-yard line, fielded there by Andreas, coming up near side. Flag down. I don't think that's against Danvers.
Maybe might be a face mask.
Well, that's Taj Coakley on the return.
Oops. It was a Danvers player.
Was Andreas? Thanks.
Yeah. Put the hands to the helmet. He's not
okay,
happy.
So that's okay, I got you. So it is a holding call. It's Taj Coakley, number 7, kind of putting his hands, got the white gloves up to his helmet a few times. So the penalty goes against the Falcons. So they'll have 2 minutes here in the ball at the 19.
Danvers will start first and 10 from their own 19.
Holy moly. Christian Sanfilippo just had an 86-yard run from scrimmage. And he has brought Gloucester ahead. It's now 12-10, and we're waiting for the extra point.
Bill Newell, Tim Kearns with you from Danvers tonight. Live video streaming of tonight's game here on MSONEWSports.com. And Maleni, hands off. Andreas, 30, 35, 40. Left-right sidelines, push to the sidelines. That stops the clock.
And what I really enjoy about Andreas' running style, again, he doesn't stand and juke. He simply shifts. He was coming up the middle. He shifted to the right to avoid a tackle, shifted again to the right, heading to the sidelines, and then was able to turn it up when he found some clear space. Very effective running because he doesn't waste a lot of time and energy moving forward.
Ball to the 43, 24-yard gain for Andreas. Tackle there by Marblehead's Derek Marino. Maleni with a tailback. Behind him, and a wide out Reedy in motion from right to left here on the count. Quinn, the fullback. Here's Andreas straight ahead up to the 47. Gain of about 4 yards for the Danvers running back. 14-7 our score. Marblehead leading. Big strike touchdown just a moment ago. Could be the 63-yard pass play from Galley to Manning Sears, tipped by a defender into Sears' hands, and there was no one between him and the goal line from about 35 yards out, and zoom, he went in for Marblehead's second score here. So they've scored once in each quarter here tonight.
Danvers has just called a timeout with 1:46 left. And Drew Pomerantz, as you know he does, has given up a home run. Red Sox still lead 2-1.
Our video guys tonight, Alex Sanfilippo and Jason Vizino, as well as Andrew Nicastro here on MSONEWSports.com. It's a 2nd down and 6. A little toss out to Andreas. Now Andreas to throw downfield for Coakley. Did he get it?
Pull it in, he did.
He got it. He pulled it in. Looked like he might have bobbled it for a moment. And he's got a first down inside the 20 at the 19 or 18.
Derek Marino, a linebacker, was right with him. And it was up for grabs. And
30.
Was it Coakley?
38.
Managed to slide inside, got up, get his hands up, and would not let go of it. Big play for Danvers.
34. Ball is at the 19-yard line, about a 34-yard catch. Started at the 40. Oh, yeah, okay. Ball's at the 19, a minute 38 to go. All kinds of time here for Danvers here in Marblehead territory, trailing by the touchdown. 7-point difference here in tonight's game. And the give is to Andreas, the tailback, hitting off the left side of the line, pushing down to the 17. A short gainer there for Danvers. Timeout, Falcons, with a minute 31.
Got some scores here again. Gloucester's moved ahead of Swampscott. 12-10. The point after was no good on the San Filippo 86-yard touchdown run. English Winthrop tied at 13. Salem Saugus still 13-0 as far as we know. Triton 6-0 over Ipswich. Essex Tech 7-0 over Manchester Essex. Linfield 14-0 over Amesbury. Burlington 6-6 tie with Melrose, and Masco leads Newburyport 13-7.
Folks, this is, we're on television, but they're not watching you, but you're spinning that sheet around, upside. I mean, you're turning it around, upside, turning it up, over.
It would help if when you printed them, you had it. I could just.
No, you turn a page like that. You turn a page over like.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Maybe I should.
You turn a page like that. You don't just turn a page over like that. I mean, I'd hate to see this guy eat a sandwich, for crying out loud. Come on. How does he do it?
It's an interesting process.
I mean, you don't turn a page like over, front to back like that. Like you're flipping up like a flip.
But you see, when I'm here, I take it.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Because I've got all my other sheets. My Rosses are here, so I try to use one space. Oh, never mind.
Well, we'll look into how we print those. Maybe that's a big saver for us here. We'll look into that. We're always looking to improve. So it's about a 2nd down and 8 here for the Falcons. Andreas, the handoff, bounces off the middle of the line, goes to left, 15, down near the 10. Very close to a first down. Let's see where they mark it. Looks like they're giving him the 10, which would be a 1 yard short of a first down. Yeah, so he's got to get down to the 9 for a first down. So it's 3rd and 1.
Triton leading Ipswich now 14-0, a 1 yard run by Louis LaRue, and then LaRue hit Hughes for a 2-point conversion. Saugus is on the board, 13-6, trailing Salem.
Okay, wideouts each way, one each way. I formation in the backfield behind Maleni, who is right up behind center on the 3rd and 1. The keeper straight ahead. Looks like the surge is there. I thought the surge was there. The surge was there. I'm not sure Maleni got enough, though. He's very close, though. I think the side judge coming in looks like he just needs to get to the 9. He's got it. He should have it, I think. Looks like they're placing it down close to the 8. Yeah, he's got it. First down. 1st and goal now for Danvers with a minute 18 to play. First half. 14-7, Marblehead leading, Danvers threatening. Again, 2 wideouts. Taj Coakley near side right. Reedy far side left. 1 back behind the quarterback. It's Andreas, takes a handoff, lost a yard. Trying to pound off the left side of the line. Offensive line with Bruno Abatessa, Kyle Purcell, Cole Johnson, Jack Ackerley, and Brad Anderson. 40 seconds to play. First half, ball at the 10. 2nd down and goal for the Falcons there. 35 seconds. Nearing the end of the first half. 1 wide out each way for Danvers. Fullback offset to the right side. Here's the quarterback rolling right, looking to pass out of the backfield. It's Quinn, the reception, and he goes in. Quinn Holland with the reception and the catch, and he runs it in from 10 yards out on a pass connection from Justin Maleni.
Well, that is what Danvers wanted to accomplish. Put the ball in the end zone before the half. Start the 3rd quarter. Basically 0-0. We should have a tie game. Extra point coming.
Maleni on the pass to Quinn Holland. David Zebek's point after attempt. Maleni to hold to the uprights to our right. 18 seconds to play first half. The kick's low. It's up but good. Oh. No. They didn't draw it up like that. Kind of the ball was on the side too, it looks like. Let's look at it again here. Don't see the ball there. Okay. We just got a quick little replay in front of us here. But the kick's good, and we're tied at 14 here with just 18 seconds to play in the first half. So the update from Gloucester is what, Tim? I'm putting you on the spot.
12-10 Gloucester, and they have the ball at their own 40-yard line. With time winding down in the first half, so we got 14-14 here, and we'll give a review of all these scores during the halftime, as there will be updates coming in. We'll have all those for you. Here's a later one. Salem now 19-6 over Saugus. 2:30 left until halftime. Thank you, Phil. I want to thank all the Salem News guys and other individuals around the area that are posting scores that allow us to keep you updated on what's going on. It's halftime between Essex Tech and Manchester Essex, and that is 13-7 Essex Tech.
All right, David Zebick to kick off for Danvers. Let's see where he puts the football. We'll shoot it to an up back, fielded at the 28-yard line, covered up just barely by Marblehead. Well, they didn't want to return, and they got the return person to smother it, and that would be Drew Besegna rather. So it's first down there for Marblehead at the 33.
Start first and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
15 seconds to play. They have wideouts, 2 near side left, plus the tight end is out there as well for Marblehead. Quarterback Galley rolling left side, looking upfield, firing away up ahead, and
did he make
pulled down by Harry
catch,
Craig, but he's out of bounds.
Wow, what a two-handed catch right along the sideline, just not able to get his feet down, and that's what Danvers was looking to avoid. And Marblehead, again, hoping to hit a sideline pass down the field, get out of bounds, give yourself a few more seconds. There are 9 seconds left on the clock.
Harry Craig wasn't really that close. He was clearly out of bounds by a good full yard or so, down and out to the left side. 9 seconds to play. First half, second down 10 here for Marblehead at the 33. Pass over the middle. Catch is made. Bo Millett. First down right carry out over the 45 to about the 47. 4 seconds showing on the stadium clock.
And we have first down on the 47-yard line. And we have a timeout, Marblehead on the field.
Marblehead will call a timeout here with a first down from their 47. 4 seconds remaining in a 14-all game.
It looks like Triton scored again. It's at least possibly 22-0 over Ipswich.
Well, Triton's definitely having a great year this year.
It is. It's
appearing
21.
that they're going to have a great year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the half. Don't mind if I talk to myself. I tend to do this.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, it's just got some time to fill here.
Catholic Memorial leading Brockton, number 10 over number 9. 6-0.
We'll be able to, if you're watching with us tonight live, we'll be able to check out the Danvers High Marching Band, I believe, at the half here tonight. One of the best on the North Shore.
I found it interesting. They weren't on the field for the national anthem. They were playing from their spot down in the corner of the stands. It sounded like they were on the other side of town.
I know. They should have been. They could have come down to the track at least, right? Don't you think? I mean, even if they weren't out on the field, I would have liked that. I don't want to sound like a guy with all the answers, though. You know what I mean? That's not who I am. Here what could be the last play of the first half from the 47 back. Is Galley to throw. Now he's running. Up over midfield, scrambling left, back right, and is hit down at the 40 of Danvers. And time is out, and the half comes to an end.
Now, the way he was carrying that loaf of bread, if that ever popped out, there were 3 Danvers defenders around him. That would have been an easy 6. Kevin Garnett, who helped the Celtics to a world championship, is retiring after 21 seasons, I believe it is. And it was nice to have him while we did.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's all tied at 14 at the half here in Danvers. Marblehead and Danvers, both teams coming in 2-0. It's an important game in the Northeastern Conference North. Danvers and Marblehead tied at 14 at the half.
Hi folks, this is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber. If you're replacing the windows in your home, please see the Anderson 400 series windows on display at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or Plastown, New Hampshire. The Anderson 400 is attractive, durable, energy efficient, and reasonably priced. Remember, Anderson is the most trusted name in windows. See the Anderson 400 at any of our 3 locations. That's North Reading, Beverly, or Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Moynihan Lumber, we measure up.
Harrington's Trophy and Awards has been rewarding the North Shore for over 25 years. Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington.
And I am Marty Harrington, and we are known for our local family business, providing custom trophies, plaques, screen printing, embroidery, and much more. We offer a variety of services such as engraving wedding gifts, medals for charity walks, youth sports trophies, and uniforms. From the newest style performance wear to your everyday work shirts, we are your one-stop shop. Whether it's a fantasy football, warm-up suits for your team, end-of-the-year banquet gifts, or recognizing excellence, we pride our business on our exceptional customer service and quality products. Located in Lynn, or visit our website at harringtontrophy.com.
Gloria Food Store is still Beverly's #1 deli, and no matter what New England weather is thrown at us, Gloria is open. With fresh bread delivered from Sunray Bakery every morning, Gloria can provide party platters, calzones, hot trays, cold trays, salad trays, and finger sandwiches for whatever you have planned. Call in your order at 978-922-3613, stop in at 268 Rantoul Street, or visit GloriaFoodStore.com.
People come in, take a seat, you're really in for a treat at Sylvan Street. A great place to eat and drink and meet with family and friends at Sylvan Street. Treat you right, day or night, satisfy your appetite. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Catch a game with friends, meet for lunch, cocktails after work, or a romantic dinner for 2. Whatever your plan to do it at Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody and Salisbury. See you at Sylvan Street.
Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Hi, this is Saka Sarkeesian, owner of Sarkeesian Sportswear, located on Route 1 South in Peabody. We are a sports team dealer and custom apparel distributor that can handle all of your team's or company's uniform and apparel needs. So stop by and visit us at 182 Newbury Street in Peabody to see our storefront. Visit with our friendly and helpful staff and let us help you get the right fit for your program. Also, you can visit our website, sarkeesiansports.com, to view our monthly specials and learn more about us.
Welcome back to Dr. Deering Stadium. I'm Bill Newell along with Tim Kearns. You're watching the Danvers High School Marching Band. We do have some information on tonight's performance, and in just a moment Tim will run down some of our North Shore scores, but you can enjoy the band performance here tonight, led by senior drum majors Jessica Buchke, Mary Burgess, and Kaylee Calder, along with the color guard captains Olivia Perez and Megan Plansky. The band is under the direction of Ron Parsons. Show production, percussion arranging, and instruction by Peter Fernari. Visual design by Dave McCarthy. Musical arranging is by Ron Parsons. The color guard, choreographer, and instructors are Joel Dubé, Jackie Boudreau, and Nicole Fernari. The assistant drill instructors are Shanae Randall, Lauren Poussard, and Lauren Bailey. Tonight's show is Swing Time, featuring America the Beautiful, String of Pearls, In the Mood, and Sing, Sing, Sing. Again, that's the Danvers High School Marching Band. And now live from our ballroom scoreboard, Tim Kearns.
Well, thank you, Bill, and tonight...
Yes, sure.
Okay, when you hear the story of this Gloucester-Swampscott game, it's absolutely insane. At one point in the first half, and there's like 2 seconds to go, Gloucester has just scored again. Swampscott had outgained Gloucester 171 to 43 yards. It is now Gloucester. Let's see, we have to add 32 to that. So my math tells me that Gloucester now has 211 yards of offense to 171 for Swampscott. So Gloucester has gained as many 170 yards in offense since Swampscott got to 170. They now lead 25-10 heading into the halftime. They were losing 7-0 and then 10-6, but they have scored 3 consecutive touchdowns to take that lead. So Gloucester's gotten their act straightened out for sure. So here at Dr. Dink Stadium, it is 14-all, and it should be a very exciting half of football to come. As I said, 25-10 Gloucester over Swampscott. Classical is leading Revere 14-12. 12 unanswered points for Revere in that one. Winthrop over Lynn English 19-13 at the half. Salem 19-6 over Saugus. That is under the lights, temporary lights at Stackpole Field in Saugus. And Bill is trying to find out some information for me.
You already have this one.
I have that one.
Okay,
yes,
never mind. Okay,
thank you. All right. Jermaine Edwards was picked off a reverse pass for that last Gloucester touchdown. So they're playing great defense now. Triton over Ipswich 21-0 at the half. Manchester Essex 13-7 still over Manchester Essex. Linfield 14-0 over Amesbury. The last scores we have there. Masco still over Newburyport 13-7. And Melrose and Burlington, we haven't seen a score from them for just the first quarter, but that was 6-6 at the time.
Malden, it looks like Malden has scored over Malden Catholic tonight, and I have just put on our Twitter the video of that on our Twitter feed. So if you follow us on MSO News Sports, you can see that Twitter feed from Malden's athletic director there. Thank you for sending that. Sorry.
Saugus has scored on a 1-yard keeper by Mac McBee. So it is now 19-12. Salem over Saugus with less than a minute to go in the first half. From Jim Coffey, Falmouth, Maine is leading Mount Ararat. Isn't that in the Middle East? 15-0 at the half.
I thought Arafat was.
I wonder if they're known as the
yeah.
Arcs.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, we have a great grasp of things here.
Well, that's where the Ark landed, Mount Ararat.
Well, a great show by the Danvers High School Marching Band. We'll step aside. We're back with the second half just ahead. Stay with us here on MSONewssports.com.
The Gloucester House Restaurant at historic Seven Seas Wharf, 63 Roger Street, Gloucester. This is owner Lenny Linquata.
We provide service and product better than anybody else. It comes directly from our boats right to your plate. We have fishermen that work great for us. We are wholesalers that we buy what we want to serve to our customers, and we put the rest of it right out in the market.
The Gloucester House Restaurant. Visit thegloucesterhouse.com.
This is the freshest seafood you can get from our boats to your plate.
For team uniforms and your business's corporate apparel, choose Sarkeesian Sportswear, Route 1 South in Peabody. Why Sarkeesians? It's quality. Owner Sarkis Sarkeesian.
Quality is not only the type of apparel you get and the cleanliness and the professionalism that's used in making that. The quality is in the customer service that we provide from the beginning to the end of the whole process of getting you the type of apparel or uniforms that you're looking for.
Sarkeesian Sportswear, Route 1 South Peabody, SarkeesianSports.com.
Hi folks, this is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber. And if you're thinking of replacing the windows in your home, I can understand the confusion you may be experiencing. TV, radio, and newspapers are simply filled with replacement window advertising, all promising everything under the sun and then some. At Moynihan Lumber, we offer no gimmicks, just quality products, competitively priced, sold to you by a professional salesperson who really knows what he's talking about. That's Moynihan Lumber in North Reading, Beverly, and Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Score early and often this fall with a low-rate residential loan from the Institution for Savings. The Institution for Savings has fantastic rates, low or no fees, great service, and prompt turnaround. Plus, we service our mortgages in-house, so help is always a local phone call away. For more information or to apply online 24/7, visit institutionforsavingsloans.com or call us at 978-462-2344. Institution for Savings, member FDIC and DIF, equal housing lender. MSONewssports.com. MSO Radio.
Our halftime tonight being brought to you by the Moynihan Lumber Company of Beverly, North Reading, and Plastown, New Hampshire. Thanks so much for joining us here on a Friday night for North Shore High School football. Marblehead and Danvers just about ready for the start of the second half. Marblehead coming in at 2-0. Danvers also at 2-0 here at Morris Field at Dr. Deering Stadium. Both teams scoring 14 points in the first half. Jason Lopez, a 1-yard run for Marblehead for their first score. Matt Andreas scored on a 11-yard run in the second quarter to tie the game up at 7. And then a 63-yard pass play from Galley to Manning Sears for Marblehead gave the Magicians a 14-7 lead. And then a 10-yard pass from Mulaney to Quinn Holland tied the game at 14. Both teams' extra point kickers, Sam Paquette of Marblehead and David Zebek of Danvers, 2 for 2 in their point afters here tonight. So that's where we are at 14-14. Danvers versus Marblehead.
Well, we had a couple of late updates come in, Bill, just before the half. Winthrop and Lynn English are now tied. A Severance touchdown pass bringing English back to pull even with the Winthrop Vikings. And Saugus scored just before the half with seconds to go to trail Salem 19-12. So some very competitive games throughout the conference and in the area Again, this one is tied. Gloss is kind of pulling away from Swampscott, but Classical and Revere are 2 points. Winthrop and English are tied. Salem and Saugus less than a touchdown. Triton really pulling away from Ipswich, but he got 13-7. Manchester Essex Tech. Okay, so a lot of close games tonight for opening conference games.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll take one more break, and then we're back with the second half, kind of a long halftime here, and then we'll see you with the second half kickoff just ahead here on MSONEWSports.com.
The Porthole Restaurant is a North Shore dining tradition. Enjoy waterfront dining in a casual atmosphere. The Porthole features outstanding quality, quantity, and price. Known for a full variety of menu selections, you must try the award-winning clam chowder, fresh off-the-boat seafood, lobsters, prime rib, steaks and chops, daily luncheon and dinner specials. They feature spacious and well-appointed function rooms. The Porthole, a great value, a great dining experience. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week on the water on the Lynnway in Lynn.
The Lynn Museum, located at 590 Washington Street in the heart of Lynn's emerging downtown cultural district, offers a unique perspective on history as told through the experiences of one of America's most consequential cities. Come this fall and see our newest exhibits, Industry and Craft, People at Work in Lynn, and Collecting for the Objects of Lynn. And I've mentioned that admission is free from September 6th through the 30th. We have new hours, too. Visit us Tuesdays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., or online at lynnmuseum.org.
Fact is, including the commute, people spend 10 hours a day at work. No wonder they're forced to buy car insurance in 15 minutes. They just don't have time to go meet with someone. Well, Columbia Insurance has an alternative. The insurance professionals at Columbia Insurance Agency will meet with you at your workplace. Even better, we'll go to the registry and bring your plates back to you at work, free of charge. At Columbia Insurance Agency, we come to you, and we really do. Visit ColumbiaInsuranceAgency.net and set up an appointment today. That's ColumbiaInsuranceAgency.net.
Team up with the Daily Item at itemlive.com, your community information connection. The Daily Item features colorful, timely stories highlighting the North Shore. The new Look page focuses on people, places, and things. The Item is presenting news in a user-friendly format. Don't miss any local news or reading features on your neighbors. Check out the Item today. It's all new every day. For home delivery, call 781-593-7700 or go to itemlive.com. Honeydew's seasonal favorites are finally here. Nothing says fall more on a crisp, cool morning than a hot pumpkin spice or maple cream coffee. Complement these coffee flavors with a tasty pumpkin muffin, deliciously sweet cranberry apple stick, or a freshly baked tart apple cider donut. Visit our locally owned and operated Honeydew Donut shops located on the Lynnway and Western Avenue in Lynn, Eastern Avenue in Malden, Canal Street in Salem, and Meridian Street in East Boston. And experience Honeydew's flavors of the fall today.
Welcome back to Danvers. Bill Newell with Tim Kearns here. High school football tomorrow on MSO News Sports. Peabody traveling to Beverly, 1 o'clock kickoff. The game with live radio, 1 o'clock on MSONEWSports.com, Channel A, MSO Radio Live A. What's going on, Tim? What do you got for me there?
Christian Sanfilippo, the senior running back for Gloucester, has 108 yards on 7 carries in the first half. For Gloucester, of course, the key one, the 86-yard touchdown run after Gloucester got pinned deep in its own territory. Prairie has 134 yards and a TD through the air for Swampscott, so both those guys are getting the job done for their respective teams. BC High is running all over the opponent tonight, 22-0. And everything will be dribbling in as the second halftime shows come to an end and the third quarters begin. We're waiting for the teams to come back on the field.
Yeah, all we need is the teams.
And so are the officials. They're standing out in midfield.
All we need is the teams here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's over. Maybe this is all over, huh?
Just a minor detail. We need the players.
Yeah, I don't see. There's no sign of them here either.
No, neither one.
No, neither team is here. So, I know. They've gone. The Falcons and the Magicians have left the building. You got some officials down there thinking that they have a second half coming up here. Got some fans and some members of the media thinking there could be a second half here.
Well, they haven't turned the scoreboard lights out yet, so that's a good sign. You know, the lights go on the scoreboard. It's time for all of us to go home.
Each team with really just under about 200 yards of offense in the first half. Relatively balanced first half between these two clubs. For Matt Andrews, about 170 yards of rushing himself in that first half. So those are huge numbers here. He's averaging he has 366 coming into tonight's game over 2 games. So Tim, my math tells me that's about 175 a game, something like that. Yeah, right? Yeah, 175, a little over 180 maybe.
Yeah, close to 180.
Yeah.
183.
Rounding it up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. We still don't see either team on the field.
No.
I know it was kind of a long first half, but did they actually think that made 4 quarters? You know? When I was coaching baseball down in Maryland, in southern Maryland, right outside of D.C., D.C. had a time limit on the baseball games in the afternoon. It was a 2-hour time limit. And they just simply stopped the game wherever it was. So one day they sent us an official from the D.C. area. So we're playing the game as it's going on. We get to the 5th inning, the umpire stands up and goes, "That's it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "2-hour time limit." I said, "Not here." He was ready to go home.
Is that a time zone issue? I thought they were in the same time zone. No?
It was a safety issue.
Oh.
When it starts to get a little dim in D.C., it was time to go home. You know?
Well, Danvers is out on the field, and now Marblehead is coming out, so there could be a second half here coming up here. That's my prediction.
Yeah, maybe they're giving a tour of the high school or something. You know, both have new high schools. Hey, take a look at ours. And they got stuck on the far end of the building. Because this is a rather expansive building. It's one floor that is just very, very large footprint. And from the exterior, it's a beautiful building that they have constructed here on the Danvers High campus.
Danvers across the way on the far side with the blue uniforms, white helmets. Marblehead on the near side here with the white uniforms, black helmets. Our videographers here tonight, Alex Sanfilippo and Jason Vizino, under the direction of Andrew Nicastro. He's the video chief, streamographer in chief. Andrew Nicastro. Well, here come the Marblehead coaches coming out on the field as well from the end zone.
I think they're having a word. They're getting a word from the referee regarding the timeliness of their return.
I didn't mark this down, but I mean when this halftime started. But it's been a long halftime here.
I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, it wasn't the band. The band was on and boom and off very quickly.
I don't want to say anything, but the moon's gone and the sun is rising, boys.
Hodge, Coakley are back deep in kickoff return coverage for the Falcons. They won the toss, deferred so they could get the football in the second half. Tied at 14 here between Marblehead and Danvers. live video streaming here on MSO News Sports. Follow us on Twitter at MSO News Sports. Follow us on our Facebook page as well, MSO News Sports. And here is Sam Paquette to kick off for Marblehead. Soccer-style kicker, right foot into the ball, booms it way down to the 9-yard line, fielded there by Andreas, out straight to the 20, cuts left to the 25, moves, but hit at the 25-yard line. Big hit there by Harry Craig of Danvers, and that'll be a first down here for the Falcons here. Placing the football at the 25. Justin Maleni at quarterback, a junior for Danvers, and Coach Sean Terrio. In the backfield, Matt Andreas. Quinn Holland blocking back for Danvers High School. Not seeing him right now, but Andreas is in the backfield. Quarterback Maleni right behind center. Now quick pass out on the right side for Andreas. Makes the catch in the backfield and is cut down for a loss. Might have lost 4 yards on that. Number of different magicians in on the hit there.
Yeah, you got a nice kickoff block from Jack Ackerley, a senior offensive lineman, but Andrews decided to cut back up inside and immediately taken down by the Marblehead defense.
I think it's Bo Millett with the initial tackle here. So that's a loss of 2 yards. Ten minutes, 17 seconds to play third quarter. Just underway here in the second half. Game tied at 14, Marblehead and Danvers. Maleni hands off. Andreas starts to the middle, now turns the left corner, starting it up to the 23. Not much of a gainer there. Might have got 1 yard back, but that was it. Good Marblehead pursuit again defensively. 2 good Marblehead defensive plays to start the second half.
Well, in the time that we were waiting for halftime to end, the Manchester Essex Tech game completed the third quarter with Essex Tech now leading 21-14.
Yeah, Sam Paquette, I believe, might have been one of the players in there defensively, pushing Andreas out of bounds, coming up from the safety position. This will be 3rd down and 12 for Danvers from their own 20, 22. Maleni right behind center, fakes the handoff, wants to pass, straight drop, toss out on the right side. Taj Coakley coming down with it. Nice catch, but he's just shy of the first down. He's out to the 33.
He had a sky for that particular pass, Bill. It was high, but again, he went up 2 hands strong, brought it back down, was knocked to the ground immediately, just shy of the first down.
It's going to bring up 4th and 2.
Gain of about 10 or 11 yards, 4th down and 2. Danvers will punt it away. Zach Turner to punt. He is standing back at his 12 to receive the long snap. The punt is off, and it's high in the air, and it will land without being caught, taking a nice Danvers roll inside the 30, down to the 27.
Yeah, second time tonight on a punt that Danvers has gotten a favorable roll, totaling at least 8 yards after it hit the ground.
Marblehead will get the football. First time for them in the second half at their 27. 8:25 to play in the third quarter. We have a flag out there, yeah, procedure call against Danvers. Well, they're bringing it back here, so they're going to re-punt this. Good decision there to try to have Danvers re-punt that. They had a good punt and a good roll without a return. So where was that? It was going to be on the 27. So let's see if this works for Marblehead or works against Marblehead. Zach Turner to punt again. This time for the long snap. He's standing back at his 13-yard line. Returner standing back at the 36 or so in Marblehead territory. Lopez snaps high, puts it away. Line drive kick. Lands on the Danvers side of midfield, but takes another roll over the 45 down to the 42 or 43. And no return, so clearly Marblehead makes out on this one. Instead of starting at their 27, they start at their 42. So a costly procedure call against Danvers on the first punt here of the second half. Bill Newell, Tim Kearns with you here from Danvers High School tonight. Galley takes a direct snap, hand off to the running back, hitting off the right side of the line for maybe 3 yards. Jason Lopez, the ball carrier.
Hamilton went over Chelsea 19-0 at the half.
Maybe only a 2-yard gain. Second down and 8 for Marblehead. Galley behind center, Aiden Gillis, the junior, out of the shotgun. Snap comes back to him. Fake handoff. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Intended on the right for Manning Sears, number 81. Marblehead without a huddle. 7:46 remaining in the third quarter. Clock stops on the incomplete pass.
It is raining in Gloucester.
Really?
Yes. Nick Kukuru is reporting. Suddenly he is Don Kent.
Meteorologist Nick
Par excellence.
Kukuru, yeah. Direct snap comes back. Galley throwing way down on the right side, incomplete. Derek Marino, the intended receiver. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, he had to step in the defensive back, Bill, and again the pass throw just a bit too strong. Looked like just a lot of adrenaline as he pumped into that pass. Galley let it go. He let him, but again, just let him way too far.
It almost looked like the two players were a little tangled up about 5 or 10 yards beyond the line of scrimmage down on the right side. No flag thrown, though. Down in front of the Danvers bench. Marblehead to punt. Paquette puts the right foot on the ball and booms it way down. No return here. Landing at the 25, rolling inside the 20 to about the 17. And that's where Danvers will start their second possession, starting the second half. They got the ball at their 25, this time a little further back at the 17. 7:31 to play third quarter. Game tied at 14, Danvers and Marblehead.
Essex Tech has scored again, and they now lead Manchester Essex 28-14.
Justin Mullaney working out of the shotgun. Halfback set to his right side. One wide out each way for him. Direct snap comes back to him. He runs straight ahead.
Mullaney on the carry.
So
There's a flag in the backfield.
Or is that, I think that might have been Andreas on the taking the direct snap. Yeah, I think Andreas just took that direct snap. Is Mullaney in right now or not? Penalty against Marblehead.
Against the Magicians.
Face mask call.
Wow.
I think they've gone to, maybe Andreas has taken these direct snaps now himself. Let's see.
It's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be first and 10 Danvers. They're on 34.
Yeah, this is Andreas taking the direct snaps here now for Danvers. Working at the shotgun quarterback position, Matt Andreas takes the direct snap and will run to the left side, up to the 40, short of the first down, getting to about the 41 or 42. Need to get out to the 44 for a first down.
Mookie Betts continues his drive for the MVP award. 3 more hits tonight in the game against Tampa Bay. Too bad he can't play. No, really. Melrose 22, Burlington 18. Third quarter score, I'm going to say.
I love what Danvers does. It, why have the problem? Why involve a quarterback to hand off to Andreas when you can just snap it directly to Andreas? Why have a middleman here? Andreas out of the shotgun here.
You mean by direct?
Takes the direct snap, runs left, turns the corner, has the first down, it would appear. He needed to get out to the 44. They'll spot him the 46.
Andreas gets up to the 46-yard line.
6.5 minutes to play. Third quarter. First down, Danvers. Now, Tim, you keep doing that. Can Marblehead stop that? You know what I'm saying? Can they, let's say you snap and you get 4 downs, you're doing it, almost 4-down territory, another first down or so. Maybe.
Well, you take the quarterback out, you eliminate the possibility of a fumble, of a mishandled snap. It gives Andreas, he's got a quick read to read the hole.
He did option pass it earlier. Snaps high, it's beyond him, and he covers it up, I think. This is a scramble. It looked like it popped away from him. He got a little greedy maybe, trying to pick it up and go with it. But he covers it up and he retains possession, but a loss.
Okay, so you don't totally eliminate the chance of a fumble on that.
Yes, there could still be.
It could still be a fumble.
Still, probably the more dangerous of
But
them.
that was a high snap. From center. They were lucky to get that ball back because there was a Marblehead lineman right in on Andreas as he went to fall on the ball.
Yeah, and who the Falcons have out there right now.
But the direct snap just allows the lineman to engage. He's able to pick out the hole he wants to go to and get there just that step or two faster.
This is Mullaney taking the snap from behind center to Taj Coakley, and he's smothered. He loses yardage. Well, I kind of got my question answered a little bit. Marblehead coming in numbers there. And one of the players in there for Marblehead was Manning Sears defensively.
Loss of 3, third down 21.
Third down 21.
You bring in your linebackers. When you get the bad snap and you get to push them back. Now Davis is looking to press, looking to make something happen. Now you just bring everybody and you just fill all the gaps. There's no place to cut. You've got your edges covered, and you're able to catch the running back, trying to juke in the backfield, and that's not going to usually work for you.
Mullaney behind center. Fakes the handoff, deep drop, middle screen over the middle for Andreas, incomplete. So 4th down and a long way to go, about 22, and Danvers will punt in a tie game at 14 with 4:39 to play in the third quarter. Zach Turner to punt, standing at his 20 or 19 to receive the long snap. Jason Lopez in punt return coverage for Marblehead, standing at his 35 to the right. Snap comes back a little high, pulls it down. It's blocked by Marblehead. Loose at the 23-yard line and grabbed by the Magicians. Puck and run down to the 10, to the 5, and in for a touchdown. Sam Frontero picking up the loose football and running it in, and there's a flag down.
Well, we've seen 2 of the kookiest touchdowns scored so far tonight, Bill. A double tip, Marblehead receiver ends up behind the secondary, scoops it up and runs for a touchdown. We've just seen a block punt and a mad scramble for the ball. A Marblehead player pick it up. He's got 2 or 3 guys draped on him. He spins around, breaks away. About 15 yards?
20, at least 20, yeah.
20 yards for the touchdown. I mean, you actually have to see that one to believe it.
So punt block, Sam Frontero picking up the loose football, and now Sam Paquette will attempt the point after kick, 20-14, Marblehead leading. Personal foul call against Danvers on that play. Snap is down, the kick is up, looks strong, and it is good. Paquette 3 for 3 here tonight.
Up in Gloucester, in rainy little Gloucester, Jermaine Edwards has scored his 3rd touchdown of the evening from 2 yards out. It is 32-10. The Fishermen, they have just continued to pound Swampscott since Swampscott went ahead 10-6. Gloucester has scored 26 consecutive points, and still 7:26 to go in the third quarter. So that game that looked to set the tone for the Northeast, South, or Small is being loudly established by Gloucester. They were picked to win it, And they're looking to make a statement to the rest of the division with this opening game against Swampscott, who figured to be their biggest rival.
It appeared that way, especially after last week's nearly perfect performance by Swampscott in their win over Lynn Classical 35-7 in a radio game here on MSO. So now Marblehead, after the touchdown and point after kick, now leading 21-14 following the personal foul call against Danvers. They'll kick off from the actual Danvers 45-yard line as they mark off the 15-yard penalty. Paquette boots it pretty much through the end zone. Actually hits the crossbar and falls out short. 45 would have been a 55-yard field goal. He just about hit. He was.
I was actually.
How about that?
I was expecting it to go through.
Of course, a kickoff's a little bit different than a field goal. I get that piece, but he boomed it. 21-14.
After a score by Jermaine Edwards, Gloucester forces a 3-and-out on Swampscott, and they'll be getting the ball back to go back to work on the offense, which has been unstoppable since early in the second quarter.
Well, Danvers finds themselves trailing here by the touchdown with 4:27 to play third quarter. Maleni back at quarterback here again. Hands off Andreas, left side. Not much of a gain there, starting from the 20. I think he's cut down at the 20, running left. Andreas, no gain.
Bill, do you get the sense that Marblehead is beginning to exert itself on the defense, and being a bit more aggressive with their line and linebackers?
Yeah.
To cut, to fill the gaps that Andreas is likes to run into.
Well, Coach Rudloff was telling us a year ago that when they lost Andreas in the game, they were still able to move the football without him. But here, this is a different team, different year, and Marblehead is playing some aggressive defense here for sure. Here in the early going of the second half, 21-14, Marblehead's leading. Second down, 10 from the 20. Another run play. Andreas cut down at the line of scrimmage. A number of different Marblehead defenders all right there.
Is the prep ever game tonight?
Tomorrow afternoon.
It is tomorrow, okay.
Probably about 3 o'clock. It's the homecoming game, I understand. Let's see. Aiden Gillis there with the hit. One of the hits.
Newburyport has come back to take a 19-13 lead over Masco.
Well,
heading into the fourth quarter.
Newburyport stumbled last week at Ipswich, losing that game, their first loss. They're coming into tonight 1-1 on the year. And here is Maleni wanting to throw, rolling left side, and he's cut down and taken down back at the 15-yard line. I think that was Sam Frontero, the linebacker, who came up and made that hit. I'm not 100% sure.
81.
Oh, 81? Okay.
81.
That would not be Frontero.
Phoenix is.
Yep.
Again, Danvers just has everybody covered. Quarterback Malin had no one to throw the ball to. He continued to roll out, and Sayers just came down and cut him off. Wrapped him up with a sure tackle as well.
Danvers to punt. Zach Turner snaps over his head through the end zone. Safety. Well, Marblehead now up by 9 points. 23-14 on the 2-point safety tacked on here.
23-14. Danvers will kick off to Marblehead.
So the safety makes it 23-14. And a free kick coming here to Danvers.
Well, Coach Terry has to find a way to calm his team down, get them refocused, get them executing as they were in the first half when they were moving the ball, especially to the outside.
But Tim, you coming into games, looking at, say, the first half, the story was kind of the offenses. Both teams with over 150 yards, maybe 170, 190 yards of offense in the game. But ultimately, so a lot of times in these big games, it's clearly the defense that takes hold, and that's what Marblehead has really just done here in the second half. Just stopped Danvers here in the second half. 2:20 to go. Still plenty of time here, but it's a 9-point game right now. So a 2-possession game for Marblehead in the lead.
You know, Davis has to be very frustrated because Marblehead has scored 2 fluky touchdowns on them.
Yeah.
And realistically, they can, okay, we should be leading no worse than 14-9. So it's maintaining calm, maintaining composure, get back and start executing. You know, you still have all the fourth quarter. You have 2:20 here to go. So there is time. You're only down 9. You're down 2 scores. But that can quickly be made up with some very effective play.
Officials are huddling out there. Danvers getting ready to kick off to Marblehead here with the free kick. We had some penalty yardage marked off here too. Did I miss something here? Two minutes, 20 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
Saugus has come storming back against Salem. They have taken a 20-19 lead.
Oh my!
With a third quarter Dante McGrain 1-yard touchdown run and Christian Correa 2-yard catch for the extra points.
Well, 2 programs that have struggled some, but 2 great coaches, really nice guys. Matt Bouchard of Salem and Mike Broderick from Saugus High School. Ground ball kick landing at the 33-yard line, fielded there by Marblehead. Run back out to midfield and down to the Danvers 48-yard line.
The return goes across midfield. Marblehead will take over first and 10 in Danvers territory on the 47-yard line.
Not sure if that was Faya on the return or must have been Faya on the return, I believe. So it'll be first down for Marblehead at the 48 of Danvers. And run play, left side, Lopez, left, now back right, inside the 40, 30, down to the 25, at least.
Boy, at full speed, he simply shifts his hips. He takes 1 step inside to the right, and he picks up about another 8 yards as he went back against the defensive flow.
Yeah, 23-yard gain there for Lopez of Marblehead. He takes the handoff again. No gain this time as he's pushed to the sidelines or near the sidelines at the 25 as well.
Well, Linfield, Amesbury is creeping back against Linfield. It's now 21-14 with about 6 minutes to go there.
No huddle, direct snap comes back, handoff, Lopez coming right side to the 20, outside to the 15, and it appears he has a first down.
Lopez on the carry.
Needed to get down to the just about the 15 for the first down. Does have a first down. They move the stakes forward. Ball being placed down at the 14. Yep. 1:22 to go, third quarter. Lopez again, cut down quickly by the Danvers defense.
It's getting wild in Saugus. Salem takes the ensuing kickoff, 82 yards for a touchdown. Jeffrey Rodriguez and Gaskin's 2-point conversion. It is now 27-20 in a matter of minutes.
Mike Doris with the tackle for Danvers. You could see that. Great stop, wrapped them up right around the above the ankles. Quarterback for Marblehead throwing into the end zone for Harry Craig, and it's a touchdown.
What I thought that might have been long and out of the back of out of the end zone, Bill. Harry Craig elevated, arms fully extended, 2-hand catch, brought it back down, tapped the toes, and fell out of bounds. Great athletic move by Harry Craig. Marblehead scores again. It is 29-14. 47 seconds left in the third quarter, and we'll see how the extra point goes.
14-yard pass play from Galley to Harry Craig. A point after kick is good.
That makes the score Marblehead 30.
Triton has scored again to lead Ipswich 28-0.
Oh, man. So now it's 30-14. Marbleheads scoring here again. All here in the third quarter. So they have scored, 16 points here in the third quarter. 2 touchdowns and the safety.
Essex Tech is taking the knee. They will defeat Manchester Essex. They will move to 3-0. I believe Manchester Essex will move to 2-1 on the season. Final score there will be 28-14. Manchester Essex continues to play very good football.
Marblehead's Paquette to kick off to Danvers from right to left, fielded at the 11-yard line or so. Taj Coakley coming near side right to the 23. Second effort pushes him out to about the 26.
Yeah, he rushed up to the 25, stopped, and began to look for an opening, and that just allowed 3 Marblehead defenders to just come in and envelop him. Again, better just to run to a spot and get as much as he can.
Yeah, ball to the 27-yard line. First down there for Danvers. Trailing by 16 here with just 37 seconds to play third quarter. 30-14 our score. Well, big win for if Marblehead can hang on here. There's a lot of time left here, this whole fourth quarter to play here. But their defense has been tough. Let's see if Coach Sean Terrio tries to mix something up with a different kind of a wrinkle here. Going out of the shotgun here. And the quarterback rolling left side, throwing way up on the left side. It's intercepted. Inbounds or out of bounds? Incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but out of bounds as the quarterback Maloney was rolling out on the left side, firing up the left side.
Second down, 10.
Coakley, the intended receiver down there on the left. 30 seconds to play, third quarter. Coakley coming as a wide out near side right this time. And this is a second down and 10 for Danvers. From outside their 25. And Andrews is the quarterback. He steps and throws. Quick pass and a look-in catch is made. No gain. Might have even been a loss on the play as they were trying to have the catch and run to the inside that time.
Marblehead defender right on the receiver's back. As soon as he made the catch, he was planted into the ground. Everything defensively that Coach Redloff and his assistant coach, and I believe it's Ben Goodhue, who is the defensive coach, are doing is just stifling Danvers at the moment. That's the end of 3. The score here in Danvers, Marblehead 30, Danvers 14.
Score early and often this fall with a low-rate residential loan from the Institution for Savings. The Institution for Savings has fantastic rates, low or no fees, great service and prompt turnaround. Plus, we service our mortgages in-house, so help is always a local phone call away. For more information or to apply online 24/7, visit institutionforsavingsloans.com or call us at 978-462-2344. Institution for Savings, member FDIC and DIF, equal housing lender.
People come in, take a seat. You're really in for a treat at Sylvan Street. A great place to eat and drink and meet with family and friends at Sylvan Street. We'll treat you right, day or night. Satisfy your appetite. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Catch a game with friends, meet for lunch, cocktails after work, or a romantic dinner for 2. Whatever your plan to do it at Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody and Salisbury. See you at Sylvan Street.
Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill.
Dean Borders throws it out on the right side. Coakley with the catch to the 39-yard line. Dancing around the 40 would be enough for a first down either way. About a 13, 14-yard pickup there for Coakley.
It's going to be a first down on the 40.
First down for Danvers, trailing by the 30-14 score. Danvers sending a wide out near side left, one far side right. Quarterback Dean Borders, third quarterback being used in tonight's game for Danvers. Takes the direct snap, runs off the right side, 5 yards, and close to 10 yards, angling out of bounds. Looks like he'll be 1 yard short, getting 9 yards on the carry.
Borders played a big part in Danvers' success a year ago, Bill, but he's been injured and slowly working his way back into the end of the lineup. Be interesting if he's able to pull this one out for the Falcons. Will he take over the quarterbacking duties?
Yeah. Borders out now. Andrea split end out near side left, it appears. Halfback set to the right of Borders, or left of Borders, who ready for the shotgun snap. Takes the snap, runs to the left side. On the run, he throws out to Andreas. Ball tipped and incomplete. Nearly intercepted on the tip by Marblehead.
Nearly intercepted, nearly a reception. There was a Danvers player who dove into the pile. It kept being tipped around, and no one able seemed to get a grip on the ball. Then it fell harmlessly to the side, but not for lack of effort by players in both blue and white jerseys.
Harry Craig nearly had that football. It was off of his fingertips on the tip. He just had to reached and bent and twisted, but just could not hang on to that football on the tip interception. 3rd down and 1 for Danvers from their 49. Coakley going wide out far side right. Andreas near side left. One setback behind Borders, who's right up behind center. 10-12 to go in the football game. Quarterback keeper, surge straight ahead. It appears that he has the first down. Might have picked up 2. Coakley, Borders with now 2 carries here in the second half. First down, Danvers to the 49 of Marblehead.
First down, Danvers.
In a real shootout, Andover is leading Lawrence 40-22 at the half.
Lawrence leading Andover? Is that what you said, or the other way around?
Andover over.
Yeah.
Andover over.
First down, Danvers at the Marblehead 49. One setback behind Borders, the Danvers quarterback. One step drop, quick pass on the tip, and it's caught on the deflection by the Danvers receiver and run almost for 10 yards. Andreas the receiver, so you got 9 yards out of that.
So they're 50-50 on the tips tonight.
Yeah, right.
The Falcons are.
It's a first down, Danvers.
It is a first down, so give him a 10-yard gain on that. Just enough for the first down. Borders back with the direct snaps, scrambling out to the right. Pass knocked down, incomplete. Not sure. It almost looked like the defender had a better shot of that ball than the receiver. Ball far side, right side. The ball is on the 39-yard line.
Second down, 10.
Nope, could be wrong. That was down and out pattern to the right side. Maybe Andreas, the intended receiver, right in front of the Danvers bench to our right. 9:19 to play in tonight's game. Danvers trailing 30-14. They have the football. So now Coakley and Andreas are wide out far side right. Borders takes the direct snap out of the shotgun, runs to the right side, to the 35, down maybe to the 33, needs to get to the 29 for a first down. This will set up a 3rd down and short. When I say short, I guess it's 3rd down and 4. No huddle for Danvers.
34.
One setback behind Borders, one wide out each way here for the Falcons. In Marblehead territory at about the 33. Borders one step drop, pass down on the right side. Up for grabs, could be intercepted, could be a catch, and officials with no call yet here. Interception, Marblehead football, back at their 13.
You know, I was just thinking, Borders had effectively injected some life into the Danvers offense as they were moving down the field. Again, that pass just a little short. Marblehead defender got inside position and was able to secure the ball.
Justin Thea credited with the interception for Marblehead. Had a good game here tonight, has Thea.
Swampscott scored again with 8:17 to go in the fourth quarter. Gloucester still leads 32-17.
Marblehead comes out on offense. First down from outside their 10-yard line. First down at the 13-yard line. They run it into the middle of the line for a very short gainer. Get the clock rolling with 8:30 to go here in this game. Out to the 15, a 2-yard gain for the Magicians. Second down and 8 here. Wide out near side right for Marblehead, working left to right. Quarterback Drew Galley. Slotted to the right side is Bo Millett. And Derek Marino split end out. It appears it's Marino out near side right. And a wide out set far side left as well. Movement, I think, by Marblehead. On the direct snap, comes back to center to Galley.
But did they get the timeout in time? I thought the ball was snapped before they gave Rudloff the time call there. Let's see. Wow.
Timeout.
They gave it to him.
Just under 8 minutes to play in tonight's football game. Big third quarter for Marblehead, breaking a 14-all halftime tie with 16 third quarter points, 2 touchdowns and a safety. And Marblehead has taken that 30-14 lead here in tonight's game. Fourth quarter so far has been scoreless, but I suppose the big note of the second half has been the Marblehead defense has just been outstanding here tonight. Bending in that last possession, but not breaking. They stop it on an interception. Pass way down on the right, incomplete. Ball a little bit overthrown, intended for Jason Lopez, the senior running back coming out of the backfield.
Looking at Drew Pomertz's line tonight, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He did his job, and turning it over to the bullpen nowadays for the Red Sox isn't such a bad thing, the way they've been really been lights out. Joe Kelly's in to pitch.
Is it still 2-1?
It hasn't said anything differently, so assuming it is still 2-1. Joe Kelly has to give an inning of 100 miles an hour plus on every pitch.
Third down and 8. Marblehead's out of the shotgun. Galley hands off. Lopez coming near side right, turns the corner. Gets a couple of yards. There's a flag down in the backfield.
Could be a hold, but there wasn't anybody around in front of him. It is a hold.
Holding Marblehead.
See, Classical is up now 21-14, 40 seconds remaining in that game. So it looks like
21-14?
Yep.
Revere scored a safety. Because it was 14-12. We'll take it.
It's just, you never know. It could be right, could be wrong. Paquette to punt, and his snap goes over his head and through, and there's a safety. So if you're plotting for Danvers, you're thinking, hey, this is perfect. We got our safety back. So a safety going against Marblehead, 2 points, and now it's 30-16.
Now they have to hope that Marblehead on their free kick doesn't send it down the length of the field. Salem now leads Saugus 33-20 in the fourth quarter.
Wellesley beat Natick 21-0. Final score there. Not the.
What I remember is Beverly's win against Natick in the Super Bowl against Doug Flutie's nephew. That was a game.
Looking to try to find that Revere score one more time, and I lost it here. So, say, how do you lose a score? Well, it can happen. 7:31 to play here in the fourth quarter. I'm Bill Newell along with Tim Kearns tonight with you. Live streaming video on MSONEWSports.com. Thanks for being with us here tonight. Here's the kickoff. High kick from the 20 on the free kick. Dead bound, fielded at the 38. Run back by Danvers up to midfield. Running back outside, inside, well, down to about the 47. That's it. And the returner, Taj Coakley for Danvers. 7:23 to play in tonight's game. Salem leads 33-20 in the fourth. All right.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Winthrop English score in a while, at least on my Twitter feeds.
So it'll be a first down for Danvers at the 48 of Marblehead. See who's out at quarterback. Dean Borders, I believe. Yeah, Borders will take the direct snap behind the line, behind center, out of the shotgun. And he'll run. Coming near side left. No, and he's wrapped up.
Big takedown. Number 3, Marblehead.
No, it's Andreas. Excuse me. Andreas, no gain.
Harry Craig with the takedown. Strong tackle from behind.
Yeah, he's had a big game here tonight for sure, huh? Harry Craig.
You know,
both sides of the ball.
In the big games, the big name players, the guys you look to for the leadership and the performance.
Quick pass out on the left side. Intended for Reedy. Makes the catch. Not a huge gainer, but maybe 7?
Yeah, I'd give him that.
3rd down and 4. 3rd down and 3. 6 or 7 yards. And the quarterback here is Andreas, scrambling, trouble, backfield lost. All the way back to the 44, loss of about 3 yards. Matt Andreas scrambling in that backfield. It's like Taj Coakley, who ran a pass pattern down on the left, coming back with a little bit of a limp.
Yeah, well covered, and Andreas had no other choice, pull it down and then try to make something of it.
Timeout called by Danvers.
From the 44.
(32-17) Fishermen, 5:18 to go in that game. Oh,
Triton final 28-0 over Ipswich.
Okay, here's the final score from Revere. Lynn Classical 21-18.
21-18. 18. The score keeps getting more bizarre.
Three-point play and a foul. Maybe that's how they did it. I'm not sure. And a free throw. Something could have been wrong on my end here. So now it's 4th down here. Danvers going for it in Marblehead territory at the 44. 4th down and a long 6. And Andreas rolling out right side. A catch is made. It's enough for a first down. Down inside the 35 to the 34. About a 10-yard gain. So a nice roll out on the right side. Reedy, the receiver. 6:18 to go. Danvers converting on a 4th down there, down to the 34 of Marblehead.
Yeah, that was an underneath route, Bill, as they had the wide receiver flash right down to the pylon, and the slot receiver just came in underneath and headed to the sideline.
Andreas at quarterback right behind center. Looked like there might have been a little problem with the exchange from center to Andreas, and he runs it straight ahead for maybe 2 yards. 2nd down and 8. Definitely looked kind of like a broken play. Falcons right up to the line of scrimmage without a huddle. 5:45 to play. 30-16 the score. 14-point lead for Marblehead. Back is Borders to pass out on the right side. The catch, Coakley's got it on the sidelines at the 22.
Hamilton Wenham over Chelsea, 27-0 at the end of 3.
Rotating quarterbacks here for Danvers. What was that score again, Tim? I'm sorry.
27-0. Hamilton Wenham. Jim Pugh on the verge of his first victory.
That's right. Like to see a young coach come out and have some success. young kid coach at Hamilton Wenham.
Give him a little youngster surge of hope. Maybe stay in the profession for a while.
Energetic guy. Encourage him. You want him to stay in the game. Like the game. Have a little success.
Exactly. Swampscott is threatening once again. They're on the 1-yard line, and it's in the 4th quarter, but they trail Gloucester 32-17 and possibly making that game a whole lot closer in a moment.
Like we could have a timeout here. Officials are talking this over. The ball is placed down at the 22. It's a first down for Danvers. Not sure what the delay is here. I guess maybe a timeout. 5:34 to play. 30-16 the score. Danvers trailing Marblehead here tonight. Big third quarter, 16-point third quarter for Marblehead. 2 touchdowns and a safety. While here in the fourth quarter, Danvers went on the board with a safety of their own and are trailing by the 14 points. It was 14 all at the half. This is more than just a timeout, but I don't know what it is, Tim.
Yeah, there's nobody injured.
Oh, there is.
there?
I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Okay, Coakley is injured across the way, so we do have an injury timeout here. Mentioned earlier, several plays ago, that he was coming back limping after running a pass pattern down to the left. Gotcha. Injury here. Okay. What we'll do is we'll step aside here. We're back with more just ahead. So stay with us here on MSONEWSports.com. 5:34 to play in tonight's football game.
Harrington's Trophy and Awards has been rewarding the North Shore for over 25 years. Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington.
And I am Marty Harrington, and we are known for our local family business, providing custom trophies, plaques, screen printing, embroidery, and much more. We offer a variety of services such as engraving wedding gifts, medals for charity walks, youth sports trophies, and uniforms. From the newest style performance wear to your everyday work shirts, we are your one-stop shop. Whether it's a fantasy football, warm-up suits for your team, end-of-the-year banquet gifts, or recognizing excellence, we pride our business on our exceptional customer service and quality products. Located in Lynn, or visit our website at harringtontrophy.com.
If you're thinking of renovating your home, please talk to the experienced sales staff at Moynihan Lumber. That's 82 River Street in downtown Beverly. Or visit us at MoynihanLumber.com.
Moynihan Lumber, we measure up.
Timeout now called by Marblehead after the injury timeout, and certainly hope Taj Coakley is going to be okay on the sidelines. I think they're still attending to him across the way. But they were just about ready. Those watching on TV could see they're just about ready to snap the ball at the end of the Moynihan commercial, but then Marblehead called timeout, didn't like the look of what they saw. So for Marblehead, they really definitely do want to make a defensive stop here, because if you allow Danvers to come in and score with a little around 5 minutes remaining in the game here, then an onside kick, and it is a one-possession game at that point. A little bit of a shower coming down here. Some umbrellas across the way. Our guys are dry, though, right? These guys look dry over here. Yeah, looking good. Okay.
Hey, and we're even
Jason
drier
and Alex,
we're inside.
Yeah.
But that's why they get the big bucks and we get the pocket change, Bill. They're exposed to the elements.
Even with the drought, this field looks great, Tim, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't it look great?
Yeah, it's amazing how you do a little
man.
science these days.
Yeah. A little more rain coming down here. Friday night lights. Rain through the lights. Out of the shotgun, Danvers now. And this is Borders rolling right, and he's wrapped up and dropped back at the 25.
Yeah, not what would you want to have happen. Every play is critical now. They have to make positive yardage on every play. Even if it's only 3 or 4 yards, you've got to maintain control. Adam Gillis?
Aiden Gillis.
Aiden Gillis,
yep.
Sorry about that.
With the tackle.
Trying to read you a pen scratch.
Borders back to pass, scrambling, left, running, throwing, and incomplete. Ooh, almost a catchable ball for Matt Andreas, but he would have had about 5 yards, but still would have been well short of the first down. So this will be third down here and 13.
Yeah, the receiver was coming back, and Borders threw it just behind him. Dangerous as he spun around to try to make the catch. Marblehead defender was coming up. Could have been another pick, but they dodged that bullet to play again here. Again, 5:02 now left to go in the game.
Danvers sending 2 wideouts near side left. So it's the 3rd down and 13 for the Falcons at about the 25 of Marblehead. Andreas, one of the wideouts, coming across the middle to pass his way. It looks like it's an incompletion. Andreas was not the intended receiver. Maybe Reedy coming across from right to left. Incomplete pass, 4th down and 13. Again, the Marblehead defense has just been outstanding here in the second half. That's probably the story here tonight. Strong second half defense by Marblehead, just really thwarting the Falcons in their first 2 possessions and then bending a bit with their last 2 possessions here in the second half.
Well, Gloucester defense stood tall. Swampscott was inside their 10-yard line. They made a defensive stand, took over on down. 3 minutes to go in that game.
Borders pitches. Here comes halfback option pass. Way down for Andreas throwing. There could be a catch at the 4.
Wow.
It is.
A diving catch to the sideline. He managed to get his toes down as he was heading out of bounds. Great athletic move. Great throw.
Andreas throwing to Kieran Moriarty down there, sliding and catching it at the 4-yard line. Yeah, big senior, number 89, Kieran Moriarty, sliding and making that catch. 1st and goal for Danvers at the 4 of Marblehead. And that was a very solid catch because with the rain coming down and low to the turf, just a big play, big catch. Little trickery as well in the backfield for Danvers, getting the motion to come left and then back right and then the option pass. And we have another timeout, it appears.
Salem just continues to score points in tonight's contest against Saugus. It's now 39-20 with 4.5 minutes to go in the game. So their offense is really getting into gear.
Well, they've got, let's see here, Borders or Andreas. Andreas will be quarterbacking in the shotgun. From the 4-yard line, Andreas takes it and just runs straight to the right side, cuts in for the 5. Looks like he's down to the 2 as he kind of knifed his way in off the right side of the line. The spot is inside the 2. Let's call it the 1. He's just outside the 1. No huddle. 4:30 to go.
Kind of surprised he went to the short side of the field with
Andreas,
that run.
yeah, right behind center. Quarterback keeper, Andreas straight ahead. Surge. Oh, it's Borders. Borders with the keeper.
Got to be close.
Looked like the surge was there. He's got it.
Right in, was on the keep.
I thought so too, yeah. Well, I said it, but I might have been wrong.
Well, it's raining all over. It's raining hard, they say, in Saugus. Just saw a Channel 5 news update on the weather. It's moving south. That should be raining downpours for the next couple of hours. Hope Phil Stacy manages to stay dry.
Coming down right now here in a timeout here as Danvers need to go for a conversion here. I think they got to go just for the kick here. I wouldn't think they would do anything other than that. Yeah, so we are checking to see if whether it was Borders who kept that or Andreas. I thought it was Andreas, and however, another spotter had it the other way around is Dean Borders right up behind center. What? It was 16? Okay, so it is Dean Borders then. That's what we'll check on this.
Linfield Amesbury is a final. 21-14. Linfield defeats Amesbury. Classical has defeated Revere 21-18. Triton over Ipswich 28-0.
Still waiting.
Stoneham over Wilmington 26-7. Gloucester had a big run from Mark Smith out to midfield with just a couple of minutes left in that game, so we're projecting that Gloucester will defeat Swampscott.
Here's the point after kick here. Zebic, kick is up, it's strong, and he's got it.
Okay, so we are at 30-23 here, 4:19 left. The rain is coming down. The boys with the camera are under the umbrella.
30-23 the score here. So now it is a touchdown and a point after kick to tie this thing up. Or a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to win it if you're Danvers, if you're thinking in those terms.
Gloucester has defeated Swampscott 32-17 to go to 2-1 on the season, 1-0 in conference division play. They established themselves again as the front runner for the Northeast Conference Small. Swampscott also falls to 2-1, but more importantly, 0-1 in the Northeast Conference South.
Now
Not to say that can't change soon, but
rain is really coming down here now.
you know what? I was going to bring my raincoat with me, but I said nah.
I wasn't even close to bringing it, to be honest with you. Not close. I think maybe this will be over in a few moments. Well, now we're looking for the onside kick.
And with and the climatic conditions just might make handling that ball on the onside kick
Here
a
we
bit
go.
more difficult.
The little chipper rolling, chase for it, and I think it went out.
Yeah.
It went out. The flag on the field is the ball. I like that kick, though, that kind of just jumped in there where there was nobody there and rolled inside the 40 down to the 35, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, there were a couple of Danvers players giving major chase, and they managed to get onto it, but not before the ball trickled out of bounds. Marblehead ball. Now, can Marblehead sustain a 4+?
4 minutes, 19 seconds to play. Wakefield and Watertown are tied at 17. 10 seconds left in that game. Ooh. (39-20) Salem in that game. So everything's wet here now in Danvers.
Except you and I.
Yeah.
And the rest of us inside the booth here.
So Marblehead will probably come out with a close look here. Now they're spreading it out here. They got wideouts each way. Direct snap in the shotgun to Galley. Galley hands off. With it, Lopez off the left side of the line up to the 43, I believe. Lopez, 44. Gain of about 5 yards for him.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to pass the ball, Bill. They just want to get the Danvers defense spread out, create some gaps for Lopez to run into.
Well, Marblehead really hasn't amassed a lot of yards here in this second half either, in a way. They've had those two kind of strange touchdowns here, to be honest with you. So their offense hasn't really been driving, so to speak, in the second half. I'd be interested to see the official stats later on from, say, a Matt Williams. Here's Lopez hitting off the left side of the line for a few yards. 3rd down and 1 to go. Great to have you with us on a Friday night here for North Shore High School football here on MSONEWSports.com. Bill Newell, Tim Kearns. This is a 3rd down and about 2 for Marblehead from their 47-yard line. And it's a handoff. Lopez coming near side right, backs his way, very close to a 1st down.
Yeah,
that spot is close.
It really is. It almost looks like it's a little short, but again, they're going to eyeball it and they're going to say, let's measure.
Yep. I am obstructed because we're right in line with this stake. And we'll see.
There's a little overhang, and all the cameramen are trying to get up underneath it as best they can.
Yeah. Can't blame them.
No.
I am thinking he might be just short. But let's see. No, he got it.
Ooh.
According to the officials. Yep, he got it.
I would say by the nose of the football. David Ortiz has just set the mark for the most RBIs by a player in his final season. That's an incredible way to to end a great career.
Now with 2:49 to play, timeout has been called here, so the players will go to their respective sidelines. 30-23 our score. With Marblehead leading by the 7 points, Danvers trailed by 16 points here in the second half. Closed it down to the 7 points. Each team with a safety here in the second half.
The cameramen are trying to gather their belongings here. I think I have Darth Vader on the other side of my window, Bill.
Yeah.
And whistles, and okay, umpires, the referee's calling Marblehead back to the field.
Interesting turn of events here tonight. A little twist here called the rain. Pouring rain right now. 2:49 to play. Marblehead football. First down. It's Harry Craig coming near side right. Sliced down. Maybe got 1 yard. Timeout called again here by Danvers with 2:44 to play. Mike
Karen
Harris.
Moriarty turned that play in.
How many timeouts do they have left? I don't know. 2:44 to play here. One possession game. Again, as we mentioned, by the end of the third quarter, Marblehead had a 16-point lead. Danvers charging back here in the fourth quarter to answer with 9, but now do trail 30-23.
And they need to get the ball back.
Sam Paquette. Boy, we've had timeouts at a long halftime here tonight.
Yeah. Halftime was so long, both teams forgot to come back in the field.
Yeah, I mean.
Final, Melrose over Burlington, 30-18.
Drew Galley. This time Marblehead does line up in a tight formation here. No wideouts here, wings each way. Wing comes up top, and
Ball's on the floor.
they ball might have popped loose on the exchange here, where the ball's right at midfield. 2.5 minutes to play.
2:33 left. Third down for Marblehead, and they've got nearly 10 yards to go.
Yeah,
I don't know how many timeouts Danvers has left, but they need to maybe consider starting using them to save some time.
They just used one a moment ago. So the ball's right at midfield. Marblehead changing things up here. 2:12 clock running here, 2:10. Marblehead will send wideouts out. One far side left, one near side right. Derek Marino near side right. Now make a slot out to the right side. That being Harry Craig in motion to the far side left. And the ball it's handed off to Lopez, and he hangs on to it. It almost looked like a blitzing defender was going to come in and take the football away on the handoff.
So, more craziness as...
Well, Quentin Holland, the linebacker, the wrestler we were talking about earlier, the guy that Salem News did a great story on this week, came in and nearly took that handoff away from the running back, and now Paquette to punt. It bounces to him on the snap, boots it away on the splash, and a high punt will not be fielded. It splashes at the 27, rolls down to the 20. No return, 1:10 to play, 1:09 to play. And Danvers has the football.
Andrews looked like he was going to take it, and then he saw the Marblehead Coverman coming down, and he backed away from it. And again, it took a favorable Marblehead bounce there. Newburyport over Masco.
Yeah.
30-23.
So there been some changes in high school football this year where a lot of times you'll have an official clock. The stadium clock is the official clock. And that's exactly what the case is here. So there's 1:09 here remaining in this game. Danvers trailing 3. They have the football at their own 20. Back to pass, throw out on the right side, incomplete. Upfield at around the 35. Dean Borders quarterbacking. Takes 4 seconds off the clock, a minute 5.
Wakefield Watertown still tied at 17 with 10 seconds to go.
Ball at the 20-yard line. That last Danvers touchdown was the Dean Borders touchdown. Borders with that touchdown.
So can Danvers march 80 yards in 105?
30-23 the score. Danvers trailing. They have the football, second down 10 from their 20. A long way to go. Snap goes back. Andreas has to run to the floor and cover it up. The ball got away from him. Back in, or that was Borders rather. Borders back to the 10. And now is he limping?
3rd and 20.
Yeah, 10-yard loss there. Ball to the 10.
You know, Bill, just on the, why is Danvers on the, it's the far side of the field? Why aren't they down in front of us with the stands?
Quarterback rolling right, throwing it away, incomplete. So now it's 4th down. 4th down and 20 from their own 10-yard line. 38 seconds to play. Well, these two teams have had some wild games, but this would be maybe the wildest if Danvers were to pull something off here. 90 yards away. 38 seconds to play. 4th down and 20 from their own 10-yard line.
Marblehead looking to just knock the ball down, take over on downs. Again, don't let anybody get behind you.
And pretty good rain pouring down here right now, here in Danvers. I think it's Borders back to receive the direct snap back at the 5. Snap comes back to him, it comes to his belt, he fields it. Now fires way down on the left side. It's intercepted by Marblehead. Lopez intercepting it at the 45, and 29 seconds remain.
So that'll seal the deal for Marblehead. They'll take a knee. They'll move to 3-0. Danvers will fall to 2-1.
We'll recap our scoring for you here, too, in just a moment here. Time running down. Rain coming down.
Are you going down on the field, Bill?
Maybe not. We'll wrap it up here. Direct snap.
It's been an interesting evening of football here.
They put the knee down to get the clock running, does Marblehead. 20 seconds to go. And that will do it.
And that will bring up the final score. Marblehead 30, Danvers 23.
30-23, our final score. I'll recap the scoring here. Jason Lopez scored first for Marblehead, a 1-yard run. Matt Andreas on a rush, a 1-yard rush, tying the score, first quarter. Then a 63-yard pass from Galley to Manning Sears, made it 14-7. A 10-yard Mulaney pass to Quinn Holland, made it 14-all. That was our halftime score. Third quarter was Marblehead. Sam Frontero scoring on a block punt from 20 yards out, 21-14. Then there's a safety. Then Drew Galley throws to Harry Craig from 14 yards out, making it 30-14, a 16-point lead. Then a safety for Danvers going their way, 30-16. They trailed by 14. Then D. Borders ran in from 1 yard out, 30-23. And that ends up to be our final score. Each kicker perfect with our point after kicks. So, Tim, that's the story. Big win here for Marblehead, going to 3-0. Big conference win for them at 1-0. Danvers falls to 2-1 overall. 0-1 in the NEC North Conference.
Yeah, you know, with the number of crazy plays, you had a deflected pass go for a touchdown. You had a second deflected pass for Danvers go for completion and a big first down. You had a safety on a muff snap on a punt for both teams. You know, there were penalties that stopped. There was aggressive defense. There were kooky runs.
Yeah.
This game had everything. You didn't dare turn your head because something was bound to happen that you might miss it.
Final score, it was Marblehead 30, Danvers 23 with Tim Kearns. I'm Bill Newell. Thanks for being with us. This is MSONEWSports.com. Good night, everybody.